Well, looks like it's 7, so let's go. Hello! We've got all sorts of dice to make. But before I do that, I'm actually going to work on a tray a little bit. So I went and did the first layer of this on Monday. Yes, today's Wednesday. Did the first layer of this on Monday. It has all sorts of like flowers along the edge. Hi Maggie, how you doing? Must be pretty early for you. It's got all sorts of like flowers along the edge, and then I'm doing kind of like grass in the bottom. But I have all sorts of the plants like sticking out a little bit. And so I'm going to trim those down a little bit, and we're going to add another layer of kind of like the grass to kind of flatten everything out a little bit, and then I'm going to add one more layer past that to really flatten everything out. But I'm going to try and make things a little bit flatter. Some of the things I can't cut down because there's like some rocks and stuff in here, but for the most part I can try and trim this a little bit. Get random pieces of plant all over the place. Yeah, I just want to make it so that I don't have like a random stick or something just poking out of the bottom of the tray once it's done. That's not what I want. I want it to be nice and flat on the bottom. So I'm just trimming it down. I do plan to stream on Saturday. I haven't streamed on Saturday the past couple of weekends just because I've been busy with other stuff. But I do plan to stream on this Saturday. Probably more resin stuff, just because I have lots of resin things I need to get done. I have some commission stuff I need to work on. But at some point I'll probably change Saturday to a gaming stream. Just because that seems fun. Hi, Helen! This is for a commission, actually. It has all sorts of, like... Yeah, I bet it's really early. It's also got all sorts of, like, flowers along the actual, like, edge part. But I'm trimming it down at the moment so that I can add another layer of kind of, like, this green grass stuff. And then I'm going to add a layer of, like, kind of brown dirt underneath that. But the idea is that there's, like, all sorts of little flowers along the side that are growing up out of the grass. But I'm trimming it down so that I don't have, you know, a random stick poking out of the bottom of the thing. That's not what I want. Actually, I might be able to just throw some of this plant stuff into my cup that I'm going to mix with all the grass, quote unquote. It's not actually grass. It's actually like stuff that you use for like model making. I found it on sale at like Michael's at one point. But it's a nice dark green color. There's a flower here. It's going to be a little bit tall, but I think we're going to leave it, and we'll just see. I'll just make sure that when I add my last layer, it's tall enough to cover that. Because I do want to, I'm trying to cut things down a little bit, but there's this flower right here. So I'm going to get so you can kind of see, yeah, you can see this flower right here is kind of sticking up a little bit higher than some other things. Hi, Gremlin. How you doing? How are you doing? Anybody up to anything fun? I was going to say tonight, because it's tonight for me, but it's not tonight for everybody. I know it's like morning for some of y'all. Yeah. What is the function of the tray? Yes. I don't know, whatever you want it to be. Like a jewelry tray. Put your dice on, like store your dice while you're playing. That's why what I was originally thinking of them for was like a little tray to set Stretch. Just got here, but it's probably good because I have been sitting here for a while. So yeah, if anyone else has been sitting for a while or standing for a while, it's not a bad idea to stretch a little bit. But no, I was thinking of them as like a place to like store your dice on the table when you're gaming. So you have them all in one spot and they're not just gonna roll off the table. Easy. I should really use one myself for that. You hear my back pop? I don't know what the person who got ordered these is going to use them for, though didn't ask. I would assume something dice related since it's part of a commission that has some dice attached to it too, but I don't know. Trying to, it's kind of hard to see what bits are sticking up from the angle that I'm at. Yeah. I can't remember why I got this originally. I really don't remember. Maybe just because I thought it was fun, but I feel like there is, you know, it's just a little trinket tray. Yeah, I'm glad you can make it too. I know our time zones are not always the best for that. We'll see. You know, yeah. That's the thing, like, I feel like one time is never the best time for everybody, just because of time zones and everything. So, you know, I stream in the evening for me on Wednesdays, and it's, you know, 3 a.m. for people over in Europe, or, and then I stream at noon on Saturdays, and then people are like, oh, I'm busy on Saturday. It's like, 4 a.m. Oh, I was pretty close. Alright, have you gotten, has raised edges? Yes, yeah. Do I have one? I have one here, just a second. I have my dice. Oh, yeah, you can see all of my galaxy dice that are on my, this is my tray where I put all the things that need sanded, but it's going to be this shape. It doesn't have like super high edges or anything, but it's enough to hold your dice. This one's obviously going to be a little bit more complicated than this solid pink one, but yeah, it's the exact same pattern as this tray right here. Yeah, I have this tray, this pink one, just over next to like my sanding wheel, and then I go and I put what I'm going to sand next in it, just so I can kind of keep track of the order of things. It's like, what am I working on next? Oh yes, I'm working on this stuff. But yeah, it's gonna be a tray like this. Maybe I should keep that tray out so that I can show it off. Okay, I think this is mostly trimmed down except for a couple of flowers that are just kind of tall. But we'll get those covered up with the last layer. All right, cool. So I think that is trimmed down as much as it needs to be. My plan is to do about, oh, I still have my mug of tea. Probably about 20 milliliters of resin that has a bunch of this grass in it. Like I said, it's like the fake model making turf stuff, but it's good color. I'm gonna add a little bit of actual moss as well, I think, for a little bit of color variation. But the plan is to do about 20 milliliters of resin. And then we'll do the last layer. I'm going to do the last layer of solid brown color. Because I feel like that'll be kind of good underneath the grass. Make it look a little bit more natural. I think it could use a little bit more, as it were, how it is right now. It's a little sparse in the middle there, so I just want to build it up a little bit. And also maybe around the edges a bit. You can still kind of see the flowers a lot, and I think I want to see a little bit of the grass there too. So it looks like the flowers are coming up out of the grass, as opposed to resting on the outside of it. But I'm using a bit of this stuff. I'm trying to break it apart a little bit so it's not like giant clumps of it either. I hope so. I hope it looks neat. Yeah, I have high hopes for it. I'm kind of basing it on a tray that I did. Do I have that tray? I have a tray that I did a while back. Is it down here too? Just a second. No, I have this tray. I found another tray. I can't remember where I put that tray. It might be upstairs. I might be using it. But I found another rainbow tray that I made. This one's kind of warped a little bit, actually. I could probably find photos, but I did kind of similar tray where I had a whole bunch of leaves and stuff, kind of looking like they fell into the bottom of a pond or something. If either after I ship it off to the person that it's for, or if the person that it's for says it's cool, I'll post some photos of this, you know, so we can see how it turns out. That's kind of how it kind of usually goes with commissions. I usually don't post like photos of commissions on social media before the person who they're for has gotten them. I just feel like that's kind of makes the most sense. I feel like the person who got them should get the first look. Maybe it's just a weird like rule that I'm making for myself, but I don't know. It just seems courteous to me, I guess. Unless it's someone that I've like, usually it's that way. Unless it's like someone that I've worked with. Huh? Yeah, as long as it's cool with the person who got it, I'll shoot you when I drop what I'm doing to show you stuff. I gotta show off all the things. It's how my brain works. Let's be real here. Like, I just get easily distracted by things. I'm that person that could, like, never clean their bedroom because I'd find something that I'd forgotten about for, you know, 6 months or whatever, and be like, oh, this thing's cool. I haven't messed around with this in a while. Or I remember this book, and I'll just, like, stop and start reading it. You don't need to see the state of my house. It's fine. Please don't look at the state of my house. It is at least cleaner, I think, than this table is. I have so much stuff on this table over here. I need to just sit down and actually clean my workspace at some point. I haven't done that in a while. I reorganized some things fairly recently. I went and organized all of my pigments. Yeah, reorganized all of my pigments and my glitters and stuff, but the table is still just covered in random molds and little bits of resin that never got cleaned up, and some like inclusions. It's mostly, and some just random things that have already been made out of resin. I've got like just a whole bunch of random crystals over here that because I used to use this as a dump mold. I used to use a crystal mold as a dump mold, and I have no idea what I'm gonna do. Oh, I guess I could turn some of these into jewelry. Like, that might make a pretty pendant, actually. And I've been talking about making some jewelry. Yeah. Your husband and both of your children have ADHD. Oh, good. You know what to expect here, then. You know what to expect here. I guess some of these maybe I could turn into some jewelry, but yeah, no, I used to use these crystals as dump molds, and I still use them as like necklace mold or keychain molds when I do commissions, but I don't know what to do with all of them, so they've just been sitting off to the side here. Oh, look, here's some spacey ones. There's more. Oh, and there's some random rings, apparently. I used those as a dump mold at one point. I've got all sorts of just random little resin things over here. Just all sorts of random. It's kind of a pretty teal color. That was when I was trying to make green, though. Yeah, there's so many things. How much of this do I have? I've got about 20, but I think maybe let's add some of the lighter green, I think, to this. Let me clean these up first, but I'll add a little bit of a lighter green color to this as well. Yeah, But now I'm thinking, because depending on, I wonder if they'd be would they be a little bit big for, here. Would they be a little bit big for earrings, though? I don't know. I feel like I have a rather long neck, so I could pull off the dangly earrings, but Be too heavy? I don't know. Yeah, they're not super heavy or anything. The other problem with earrings though is that I don't really have a ton that just match. Most of them are just one-off things. They're just one-offs. But some of them are kind of pretty. So maybe I'll get that figured out at some point. Some of them are just weird. Some of them are just weird. This one is from back before. This one was from before I had a pressure pot, and you can tell because it is full. It is full of bubbles. It's kind of hard to see on camera, but it's full of like pock marks and stuff there. Oh, you like big earrings? That's fair. You're biased. Yeah, I mean, I can't talk. To be fair, I don't usually wear earrings. You also like mismatched? Okay, all right, yes. I mean, same. So you know, I can't talk. But there's some kind of pretty ones here that we could do something with. This was kind of like a faux amethyst. Some of these I think are fairly old. This was kind of a faux amethysty one. All right, this is not what I was planning to do this stream. Let me put these away. But yeah, could do something. I don't know if you have any ideas for what I should do with all of these, then I am open to ideas because I don't know what I'm doing. I can just turn them all into like keychains or pendants, to be fair. I need to get some things made. I'm hoping to do, assuming that like things have cleared up enough to be able to do it, and that is actually like a stipulation on it happening at all. I'm hoping to do a holiday bazaar this winter. And I feel like dice might not be the right demographic for dice, so I'm trying to get some like jewelry and stuff done as well. So, you know, it might be good to turn some of those things into like little keychains and pendants and things. But at the moment, they're just gonna sit randomly over here. Although I guess I could, if I want to do that, I need to add, I'm gonna have to get some things figured out because I need to add a little bit of resin to the top of these probably. Fine. I'll get that figured out. Hey, what is this one? Oh, this one's like orange and teal. Kind of like it though. It's kind of strange. Alright, let me put these back over here. And we've also got our grass here. I was going to add a little bit of... Oh, I already pulled the moss down. I've already pulled the moss down. Well, that's fine. We're going to put it back in there once we're done. I'm going to put a little bit of like this lighter green color in here, just because I think it's nice to have a little bit of variation. I like having it not all just one solid color. Let's add some lighter. How's the switch to my website going? It's going pretty okay. I think things are a little bit slower, just because I don't have the traffic that's being generated by Etsy, but at the same time, it's going fine. I don't know. I'm not sure what to compare it to exactly. Since I've only had the new website for how long? 2 months? I switched over in September. I switched over at the beginning of September, so almost 2 months maybe. Okay, I don't want to add too much of this light green. I don't think. I think I want it to be mostly dark green, but it's probably good. I guess I'm still trying to figure out what the best way is to drive traffic. That's the like hard part of shop stuff. Like making the stuff is the easy part. It's actually like getting people to see my stuff and be interested enough in it to buy it, I guess. And I never really had an issue with that when I was on Etsy. I don't need that yet. That's gonna be for the next layer. But you know, I'm trying to figure out how to get reviews to work on the site, and that's because like with Etsy, you see all of the reviews for all the different items people bought in the shop, at the bottom of the page, and so you can kind of get an idea of, okay, here's what people have gotten and how it looked and that sort of thing and how people liked it. And I feel like that would be nice to have on my shop, but I just haven't figured out how to do that yet. I'm working with a friend who does some web design to see if we can get something figured out there. Yes, I've moved to my own website. See, this is what I was saying. People don't know about it. No, yes, I've moved over to my own website. If you go to my About section under the video, should have a link there. But yeah, I switched at the beginning of September. Yes, beginning of September. Okay. Alright, so we've got the tray we're going to do. A couple other things we're going to work on today. I've made some sunrise dice in the past that have kind of like an ombre of colors. Oh, excuse me. And so we're going to do that for a jumbo D12. I'm working on, I guess it's kind of the same commission as the tray, but I'm working on a set of jumbo dice where each die is different, but they're all kind of nature themed. And so the D12 is going to be like a sunrise. So it's going to have these 4 colors and then blue, like a translucent blue. That's a design that I've done before, so I'm not too worried about that. This D4 has a little bit of, it looks very dark on camera, but it's kind of a shimmery brown in the bottom there. And the plan for this, let me grab my plants, my government plants. No, the plan for this one is to have like a single flower just kind of coming out of it. And I think we're gonna use this single pink flower that I have, because I feel like it'd look cool as a single flower coming up out of the earth. Oh, well, thank you, Helen. I do appreciate that. You play with the fate dice, or fudge dice, I guess they're called both, more than the D&D dice, right? I should really make I do plan to make some just fate dice tonight. I should do more variations of fate dice. At the moment, I have it set up to do, I'm trying to do like 8 to 10 sets of the D&D dice. This is per month. And then I've only been doing like 2 sets of the fate dice a month, but maybe I'll have to up that a little bit, because people do actually seem interested in more interesting fate dice, because I feel like there's not as many of those out there. I think I'm going to need this, my plants. So the D4 is going to have the flower. And then the D8, we want to do kind of an autumn theme with leaves. And I'm kind of torn a little bit. So, for the D20 of this set, and this might not be the final one, we're going to see how it looks, but for the D20 of this set, we kind of filled the D20 with, we filled it with a whole bunch of flowers. Just like a whole bunch of flowers. I don't know if I want to do the same thing, but with leaves for the D8, or if I want to try and do something different so it's not exactly the same. So I'm not sure. I could do like a single leaf with like some coppery colors in there. Like that could be an option. I did a set. Let me set this back up because I'm not decided yet. I'm going to talk through this plan. I guess I just got to make it so people know that that I'm making custom fate dice. Here, just a second. Let me grab a die from over here. Where did I put that? Is there any over here? Maybe they finished polishing. Well, the point being, they might have finished polishing. I don't think they're over there. I did kind of some dice where I did kind of earthy tones, so kind of a reddish brown color, like a maroon, and some green and some brown, and I liked that. I really liked how those ended up looking, but I worry that if I just did that, it might be a little too simplistic compared to everything else. Everything else is kind of more busy, although at the same time it might be nice. Actually, the sunrise one is not. Sunrise one is not going to be nearly as busy as these other ones, and actually the D4 is not going to be super busy. So maybe it'd be good to have kind of like a mix there of styles, but I don't know if it would translate to autumn. So the other thing I'm debating is doing like those colors and then doing it with like a single leaf kind of coming up out of it into a more translucent resin. I don't know. I guess to be fair, I can always make something, and then if the person's like, that's not really what I had in mind, I can remake it. I'll just end up with a spare jumbo D8, and that's fine. I guess I just don't know which direction I want to go. That is the real question. Because I do think that kind of like the bronzy colors and some of those kind of earthy tones and browns and that sort of thing would look really pretty. It look party. Let me see what leaves I have. Let's look through my leaves. So, and I want kind of autumny leaves. So let's look through here and see what I've got in way of kind of autumn-ish, autumny leaves. All right. Try and get this so that everyone can see it. All right. So I think most of my leaves are in here. Let's see. I have some kind of reddish ones. I think they're over here though. Let me grab those. Here's some kind of reddish ones that I think would be pretty for some autumn colors. I've got some kind of reddish ones here, but they might be a little bit big. See, I've got these kind of reddish ones. I've got some smaller ones. And sticks and twigs. Yeah. I've got some like ivy and stuff, but that's kind of green, so I don't know if it would match. I feel like almost my best bet is I have some of these from Japanese maple outside of my house. I feel like it'd look pretty cool. Come on. I feel like it'd look pretty cool in a dye. There we go. It is kind of greenish though. But it has maybe a little bit more red in it than some of the others. That's really, all of these are like tangled together. But like doing just some like little leaves kind of coming out of some colored resin might be cool. Maybe. I guess I'm trying to figure out what's going to match the rest of the dice. Just thinking of what all do I have? Because I think I don't want just a pure green leaf, because I don't think that's going to give off the autumn vibe. We're going on vibes here, folks. We're going on vibes. Oh, I do also have this that we could cut a piece from, but I don't know if it would translate to leaf. So this is a leaf that like all of the inside was kind of eaten out. Yeah, I think to be fair, the small red one here, I don't know which small red one you're talking about actually, because it's kind of the large red ones, I guess. I think these small red ones are also Japanese maple, maybe. I'm not sure how I ended up with red ones and then like not red ones. Maybe I just dried those differently somehow. I don't remember. Maybe with some yellow flowers. Yeah, but I don't want to make it too similar to the D20 that has a lot of yellow in it. Although to be fair, that might not. We might remake that one so it's not as yellow. I'm thinking I want to lean more reds and browns and greens, maybe. Kind of go that direction with the colors. I do have this leaf that's like flattened. Yeah, I've got some other random leaves here, but they're just a little bit big, I think, for what I'm talking about. I mean, I could do like an ivy leaf. I think that'd look kind of cool. But it is, again, kind of greenish. Yeah, I think the Japanese... Oh, thank you so much for subscribing. That is so nice of you, Maggie. I do really appreciate that. Yes, I think I want to go... Japanese maple, because I think that's the best option that I have here. Yes, I think that's definitely the best option. Except maybe these red ones, but again, these might be a little bit big. Let me look. I'm going to break off one of these and let's see if it will fit in the D8. Where did I put the D8? Where have I put it? Oh, it is the one that's under here. Ugh. Let's see if this will fit. I think it might be... Yeah, it's a little bit big. It's kind of sticking out. So, I think the Japanese maple's the way. Oh, wait. I've got this little leaf, too. I think this would fit. It's very red. Ooh, this one fits almost perfectly in there. Oh, if I cut off the, like, little stem part. That could be cool. I've only got that one, though, I think. Wait. Oh, I have some smaller, I think, of these red ones. Oh, yeah, I have some slightly smaller of these reddish ones, actually. They're just down here. Okay. I'm still... Okay, I think my decision now is, do I want to do it jam-packed full of leaves, like the D20 is with flowers, or do I want to do a mix of colored resin and then fewer leaves? I think that's where my decision lies. I guess I could just do it one way. I just need to decide which way. Which way do I go? Let's try it. You know, let's try it with the colored resin and then 1 or 2 leaves. And I'm going to do that because I think that is more different. And so it'll be kind of more... I think it'll be more divisive on whether the person likes it or not. Which I think will be good, because then if they don't like it that way, you like the big leaf? Which big leaf? There's lots of big leaves. Because I think if they don't like it, if I do it with all of the leaves in it, I think they might be okay with it, but I think if I do it with the colored resin, they will either love it or hate it, which I think I prefer, because if they're okay with the first one, I probably won't end up making the second one, and we'll never know if they love it or hate it. But if I make this one, we'll find that out. So I think I'm going to do this with the kind of colored resin, in which case I want to do... What do I want to do here? I think I'm going to do it with lots of like reds and browns. Oh, this one? This one. I think I want to do a lot of reds and browns, in which case we could go for some greener sort of leaves. But again, I don't want to go too green. So I'm going to grab a few leaves here. And we'll figure out how I want to put those in. I'm grabbing some that I'm pretty sure will fit in here and we could do something with. So let's... Yeah. I know, there's so much delay. It's always a problem. I'm just like... yeah, that's why it like doesn't work if I like point to things. I have to be like option A, option B. Because if I just point to things and someone says that one, it's already moved on. too late. It's too late, I've moved on. The ivy could be cool, but again, I don't think I want to do, I think it looks almost too fresh. Too fly, too fresh. It's just a little too green. Although to be fair, ivy is a lot less muted than that, but, you know. Yeah. So let's put these away. I could do, there's some, we could grab a, let me grab a little one out of here. These ones are smaller leaves, and they have kind of like yellow and green in them. I really like these leaves. I like how they have like more than one color. So I'll pull out a little one of these. That could be an option. Yeah, exactly. There's so much lag. Alright. Should I stay or should I go? Okay. So I think we've got some leaf options there. I'm going to pull out the colors that I think I'm going to use. Yeah, let me put this away so we have a little bit more room here. I'm going to pull out, I think, this brown shimmer. And then I think I want maybe like a coppery color in there. In the set that I did with the kind of earthy tones, I think I had green in there as well. But I think maybe we'll pull in a little bit of green with the flowers. Although green might be pretty. I think I want a little bit of like a copper color. So maybe, should I go for kind of the more reddish one? And then let me grab one more pigment, and it's not actually here. It's over here. And this is my brick red oxide pigment, and it's not shimmery. Yeah, now I have 3 on there. And this one's not shimmery like the other two, which has a little bit of like a contrast in there, and it's kind of like a muted red color. Here, I'll pull out my paint chip. Oh, I think it's right on top here. It's kind of a reddish brown color, but I think it'll mix well with our other neutrals here. So we'll have our kind of 3 neutrals, and then we'll have our leaves on top of that. I guess I'm debating if I want to, do I want to add any like shimmer or anything to the like resin. So my plan is I'm going to pour these into the mold part of the way, and then I was going to put the leaves in, like into it, and then pour like clear on top so you could see the leaves. But I am debating if I want to add anything to that clear resin. If I want to either tint it a little bit with some sort of color, add a little bit of shimmer. Oh, maybe, actually, you know what? Where's my, I have, here, I'm just going to smack it a little up. This is all of my various colors. I have this, it's called Pearl, but it kind of yellowed the resin a little bit with adding a little bit of shimmer. But that might actually be kind of cool if it was like a little bit kind of yellowed. I don't know if that would look like it's unintentional though, which would not be good. But I feel like it'd feel very autumny. So let's maybe do that. Let's add a little bit of this Pearl to the clear resin. And it might make it so that the resin itself ends up a little warmer toned. But I feel like that might be good. I think it'll make the dye feel a little bit warmer. Yeah, we're going with lots of warm tones here. We'll see how it turns out. I don't know how it'll turn out. It's we're doing experiments here. We're doing experiments here. We're doing it live on stream. I'll put these away in the container here. I think I at least have, you know, a little bit of an idea of what I want to do. Oh, turmeric is a very similar color. Okay, let me put these here so they're kind of out of my way. now we've got all of our jumbo dice, I think, with the pigments and stuff that we need for them. And let's go through everything else. So, I'm doing some estimating here on how much resin everything's going to take, and it might be slightly off. So we might not get to all the things that I want to get to, depending on whether we have enough resin or not. The jumbo dice take a lot of resin, and I'm not quite sure how much each individual one takes. I do want to do an 8-piece. I am doing an experiment every time I stream. That's what makes it exciting and interesting. That's what makes it fun. So I'm knocking over some inclusions that I need to do something with at some point. That's why I like doing resin, is because I can always experiment and try something new. I do want to do an 8-piece set. I have this, which just looks like clear plastic, kind of, on stream, I feel like. But I swear to you that it is very iridescent. Let me have a dark background. I feel like it might be easier to see. It's hard to show iridescence on stream, but it is very, very pretty. It is very pretty. And I'm gonna do something with this. I saw on there was someone in a dice group that was asking about purple and green dice, and then people started posting photos, and I'm like, man, I want to do purple and green dice. Those are so pretty. So I'm gonna do like dice that are kind of softly half green, half purple. But I'm gonna put some iridescent stuff in the middle, and then I'm gonna add a little bit of purple shimmer to the purple, and I'm gonna add some multi-chrome kind of blue purple flakes to the green. I think it'll end up pretty. This is one of those ones where I want to do it gently enough so they don't mix too much, because purple and green is going to make kind of a brown color if they actually mix. But if I get them just kind of swirling enough, I think they'll end up pretty. So that is my plan there. I do actually have, if I have enough resin, I got a new blue ink, because I need more of my other blue ink, which is over here. And it came in a 2-pack with a different blue ink. So I don't know how this one looks yet, so we might try that if I have enough resin. And then I do want to do, again, if I have enough resin, a set of fate dice. I made a new mold and it's so shiny. I don't know what I want to do for it. What should I do for just a random set of fate dice? Should we do flowers in it? Or I've done some spacey colors for a set recently. I think I actually have a couple of spacey kind of fate dice sets that are in my 2 sand pile behind me. We can go with earthy colors. Let me see what I have. Let's try and do something different from what we already have. Okay. So what I've got a couple of pinks, I've got a couple of greens, I've got like a spacey set, I've got a couple of florals, and this one's kind of like blues and purples. I think we don't have, actually no, and then I have an orange, black and white. That could be cool. Why don't we do that? Let's do that. That's a good idea. We're gonna go with that. I did, just a second. I did this jumbo, yeah, I was gonna say, I did this jumbo D20 a while back. It has like black and white, and then it has like silver flakes, and the black is shimmery. And I'm thinking, what if we kind of like copied this? Because I really like how this turned out, and I'm wondering how it'll look on a smaller scale. So why don't we do that? Let's do that. So I think this one's a mix of like this black and then this graphite. Oh, thanks, Maggie. Yeah, I was trying out doing, there's kind of 2 ways to do the kind of like pigment dropped through and then swirling thing. You can do it with alcohol inks, or you can do it with mica powders. And I wanted to see what happened if I did it with both, which is how we ended up with this. So I did like a black, come on, you can focus. I know you can do it. And then sell them to me. So I went and did, you know, white alcohol ink and then like a black mica just to see how it turned out. And it ended up mixing really cool. So we've got our black micas, we've got our white ink, and then I had silver in here, which I really liked. And I think that's about it. And I think we don't need any shimmer in the resin itself because we've got the shimmer of the black and we've got the silver foil. And I think maybe it would take away from actually seeing all the stuff on the inside. So we're just gonna go with that. Okay. Cool. So I think we've got a plan for everything. So let's start getting everything into little containers. Yep, I think that's everything. The only thing that, if I have leftover resin after that, I have some jumbo D20s. I have some jumbo D20s here that I need to pour in 2 parts. And so I might do the first part of those. So they're just gonna have like a little layer of white on the bottom. And that's, like I said, if I have leftover even after all of this stuff. So let's start getting things put into some mixing cups. All right. So we've got all of this stuff. Oops. Let's get all of our pigments here. So this is for our D12 that we're going to do a sunrise with. Just grabbed a cup for the blue ink. But let me grab something for the yellow, something for the purple, something for the orange, and something for the pink. That one might not be a good one for the pink. Might be fine. These need cleaned out a little bit though. We've got some resin adhered to the bottom. It's the same pigment for this one, so I'm not too worried. It's the same purple. And if it's actually adhered to the bottom, it shouldn't be a big issue. Okay. So I'm going to for our purple. This one has a different pink in it. It's a pretty one. This is so I went and, when I originally made the sunrise dice, because I made, you know, just a set of dice with these pigments. I couldn't remember which pink pigment I used. And then they turned out really good, and I'm like, I went to go make another set later, and I'm like, I don't remember which pink it was. And so I think I ended up using the wrong one. It was either this or this, and this one kind of shimmers between pink and blue. And then this one's kind of a you know, darker, brighter pink. And I used the pink blue. And so then I went and was just like, man, these are cool, but I don't think they're quite right, which is just a little bit unfortunate. So I went and actually wrote down, you know, that it was this pink afterwards, because I'm like, yeah, okay, it's the other one. But I don't know. There's a couple of designs that I've made that I keep coming back to. One of them is the Galaxy dice, which I have changed a little bit. You know, I've tried to keep Galaxy dice kind of consistently in my shop since the beginning, because they were the first dice. It was the first design that I ever had in my shop, was Galaxy dice. There's some trivia for you. The problem is that the design that I had for those, I couldn't put them in the tumbler to polish, because they had holographic glitter dusted on the outsides of them. I like dusted the mold with holographic glitter and then poured the resin in, so it ended up on the outside of the resin. So if I put it into the tumblers to polish, it like wore off the holographicness of the glitter. You just ended up with kind of like silverish glitter on the outside. So I have some. Well, yeah, you saw the space dice earlier. They're the ones that I'm gonna try and sand next. But I went and did some reworking on these and tried doing them as like a dirty pour instead. I think this one's maybe one of the best. Oops, this is probably one of the better ones. So, like the it used to be kind of like a very distinct, not distinct, but like I did it kind of layered more so. Like it was black and then blue and then pink and then blue and then black. And this way I tried putting all of those colors into the same cup. And I added some other stuff. I added a little bit of this graphite. That's the color name. This graphite pigment. And it really adds to the kind of holographic shimmer. Because I mixed it with some of the holographic glitter. And man, it just looks really good as like even smaller stars kind of in the background. Okay, why did I start talking about this? Oh yes, because dice designs that I keep coming back to. Here's another nice looking one. You can kind of see that shimmer there of the pink and blue. This one might be easiest to show. This has a lot of the blue and pink. Ooh, have fun, Jen. Have fun playing your game. So try to keep these in stock. And one of the other designs that I keep coming back to is the sunrise dice as well. So I should probably make some more of those at some point. Yes, you're like Beetlejuice. You just say your name 3 times and you shall appear. But have fun playing your game, Jen. Yeah, so there's the ritual is that if we need Jen, I just say her name like 3 times, and then she shall come to, you know, kick bots or something if she needs to. Since she has moderator powers. Okay, so I'll get that for orange. But yeah, it's okay, the rights of the Fae are esoteric. Oh gosh, is that the sort of deal that I made? Oh man, I was not aware of these conditions. I knew I never should have given her my real name. This is dangerous. What was I going to say? Something about dice designs. Oh, I don't know. I don't know why I keep going back to some of these designs. I think it's just because they're designs that other people have seemed enthusiastic about. Like the Galaxy dice people seem to be into. The Sunrise dice people seem to be into. That's the same reason I've made a few pond dice as well. You started playing D&D, but you're so sad you can't get one of mine or Scryer's dice just because they're expensive. I know oh man, when I first started looking into handmade dice, so I started making handmade dice because a D&D buddy was talking about it, and I had done a little. Never make deals with the Fae. But Mom, I wanna. My brother and I were talking about a whole podcast idea about accidentally making a deal with the Fae, but oh, shipping cost. Fair. Shipping things overseas is spandy. But well, that's exciting that you started playing D&D. Have you been having fun? Have you been having fun playing D&D? But let's see, what was I saying? Dice designs. I think I was talking dice designs. Before I got sidetracked. Oh yeah, just the ones that I keep coming back to, I think are ones that other people have been have expressed excitement about. Because I like making things that other people are excited about. To be fair, those are the 3 stickers that I have that I ship with my dice. Ah, play 5.0. Yeah, that's what I was playing last before quarantine kind of messed with D&D plans. I just can't play over the internet. Like, I don't know, I can't pay attention. Can't pay attention when it's like over Discord. Plus, I like playing D&D because I like hanging out with people. It's an excuse to hang out with people. But no, the 3. So I have 3 different stickers. I have my logo, which is a 4th sticker, but I have 3 different stickers that I send with orders. So you get my logo, and then you get a random one of those 3. And those 3 stickers are based on the Galaxy dice, the Sunrise dice, and my Pond dice, because they're the ones that I keep bringing back. Like tiny skulls. I get very excited about tiny. Oh, I don't have all of them down here. But I made some absolutely minuscule ones. There's some really tiny ones in here, but this one has horns. Just a second, let me see if I can grab it. I went and made more, skulls the other day. I haven't, like, weathered them all. I've weathered a few of them. Oh, come on. I doesn't want to find it. There we go. This one has little tiny horns on it. Yeah, I was making. Let's see. I made a few for a commission, and then. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, no, overseas shipping is spandy. But I made 3 of them, and then we decided that we wanted 4, and so I just took a day and I sat down and I made like 20 miniature skulls of various sizes. So I still need to like weather them all. With a little bit of, some weathering type paint. They're sitting upstairs in my office in my stuff to paint container. Oh, maybe I'll do that tomorrow. Critical Role starts back up tomorrow, and I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do while I watched. So maybe I'll work on weathering some skulls. But I made a whole bunch of them. So hopefully I'll be making some skull dice here soon just to put in my shop. Because they turned out, the ones that I made for you turned out so cool. Now I want to make more. The skulls just take a while to make though. Okay, got our yellow. Let's get our star sticks for these. I'm just grabbing some things so we can grab some pigment. All right. Yeah, I don't remember if I made any other horned ones. I might have made a couple of larger ones, but I don't remember if I did or not on the horned skulls. I think maybe I made a slightly larger horned skull, and then I realized that it was a little bit too big for what I needed. So I made some tinier ones. I think maybe I have 1 or 2 more in my stuff upstairs to paint. Make more! They're time consuming. Oh, not the skulls, just the dice. I can mess around with some styles. We'll see. Oh, I'm gonna need more pigment than that. I don't need a ton of pigment. Let me think about this. How much resin do I think? Teeny tiny skulls. How much resin do I think this is going to take? You're also summoned by teeny tiny skulls. Well, considering that commission's for you. Wait a second here. Let me look at my. Sunrise. I was looking at my I actually do have some of my recipes written down here. And I was trying to figure out what my ratios were. Does that add up? Yes, that does add up. Okay. Yeah, I have, so 1/4 of the blue, 1/4 of the yellow, and then 1/6 of each of these. So let's say that it takes 15, 20 milliliters to do this. Let's say 20, because that's going to make this easier. So if it takes 20 milliliters to do this, a third of half would be about 3. So it would take about 3 milliliters of purple. Okay. I think we're not going to need a ton, because I don't want it to be too heavy. You're also summoned by tiny skulls. So I think these 3 are going to have about 3 milliliters of resin each, and then these will have 5. I think that'll be about right. Yeah, so I don't think it'll take too much resin here, because that's, you know, a little bit over the 2.5 mark. Okay. Yeah, this is not a good recipe. This is literally just the colors that I used for a set of dice. Hard to sneak into a letter to skip customs. I mean, yeah. They're a little substantial for that, unfortunately. Man, I'm doing a dice trade with Scryer, and I'm very excited. Very excited, but we also have the benefit of both living in the States. A little bit more. So shipping is not nearly as bad. Okay, here's that. All right, so those are going to be about 3 each. This one's going to be about 3. If I did my math right. I'm still salty about times tables. Apparently my mom is still salty about times tables too. About me having to do times tables, because she's of the same opinion that I am, that they're stupid. Or that they're not math. I guess that's really what it is. Times tables are not math. Times tables are rote memorization. Which, as someone with ADHD, I do not have. No. I could never do my times tables in school. So, like, you know, you get like a minute and you have to do, I don't remember how many multiplication problems of like, what's 2 times 4? What's 6 times 8? I passed it once, and that was the last one that I ever had to do in 6th grade. It's the only one I ever passed in all of school. I could never pass my times tables because I don't have a good memory. Just don't have a good memory. So this is going to be about 5 milliliters. I have a math degree, Helen. That's what my degree is in math. Which is why I feel like I'm allowed to be salty about it. I feel like I'm allowed to be salty about it. Because, like, I can do math. I just can't. 100 problems in a minute. That's what it is. I was thinking it was that, but I couldn't remember. Yeah, no. As someone with a terrible memory, like, I just could never do those. It's just, because that's just memorization. I just use a calculator for everything, too. Anyways, it just makes it easier. It's like, I could do this, but I don't need to. We have a family friend who, apparently had a teacher once tell him that he had to memorize everything because you won't have a calculator with you everywhere you go. And he loves just pulling out... I'll be salty with my math degree, yeah. He loves pulling out his phone and being like, yeah, I don't have a calculator with me everywhere I go. Okay. Cool, we've got all of our pigments for that. Set these off to the side so that they're out of my way. Somehow I still ended up enjoying math, though. I don't know. I enjoyed the rest of math. Okay, For the flower here, I'm going to need to cut this down so it's the right size. And then I think I'm going to attach it to the brown part with some UV resin so that it's standing up. Because I want it perpendicular. Yes, perpendicular. Speaking of math, my brain was just like, not parallel. I'm like, what is not parallel? Yeah, okay. I had this plugged into my phone. Okay. There's my UV light out. I do think that it's useful to have things memorized. I just think that, like, the reason that my mom was annoyed with it is because it dropped my grade by a whole letter grade, that I couldn't do times tables, even though I could do math. I think that was in middle school, maybe. Let me see here. Is this short enough? Nope. Making this shorter. Oh, I think it's going to be fairly short here. Yeah, I think that'll be good. I might have made it a little too short, but actually, no, I think that's good. I think that's good. So I'm going to do a little drop of UV resin here, and this should end up being hopefully mostly invisible. But I'm going to do a drop of UV resin. It's gotten a little bit thick over time. Had this UV resin for a little while. Okay, come on. Okay. I mean, yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. I do think that, like, it is useful. It's just, it makes me upset that it was, like, so, like, there's such a focus on it when I just have memorization issues. Okay, let me get this placed. I'm trying to get it centered. I don't know. I guess it's one of those things where it's standardized. Should not be counted for a grade. Actually, I think part of it, and this is unrelated to that. This is part of the reason I don't play a lot of video games too. Whenever things are timed, I can't do them. I just freak out when things are timed. My brain just shuts down. So, yeah, that's whenever, like, in a video game or something, there's like a timer or something is shooting at me. I'm just like, I don't know what I need to do. Probably if I could just be calm under pressure, I'd be better at some of those things. But you know how it goes. All right, so I think this is looking pretty good. I don't play Magic the Gathering, no. My brother does, or at least he did. I know of Magic the Gathering, but no, I have not played it myself. Do you? I assume you do if you're asking that question. An old roommate of mine did. All right, there's that. So that's just going to be single flower growing up out of that brown earth bottom. Got that figured out. Let me put this away. I think that's the only thing that we'll need the UV resin for. Could be wrong, but I think we're good. Yeah. It's too late for that now. And I ended up with a degree anyways, so I'm not too fussed about it. I'm not too fussed about it, but I've said my piece. Okay. We've got our colors for our sunrise one. We've got our flower set up for our D4. Let's just move down the line here. I have the D8 that's going to have leaves in it. And I need to figure out, I think the D4 is just going to have clear. I think we're just going to do clear resin with the flower so that you can see the flower really easily. Okay, for the D8, the idea was going to be, or the idea is to do kind of earthy colors towards the bottom, and then the leaves like kind of rising up out of it. Let me find some mixing cups here. I'm just trying to decide. I can't decide whether you should live or die. No, like which leaves and how many of them. I just began Magic the Gathering Arena. Is that turn-based? Or is that... I guess Magic the Gathering is turn-based, so I would assume that's turn-based. You're fine, Helen. You're fine. I'm A-okay with getting a different perspective on things. You know my opinion, though. It's just an opinion. I think with most things, there's a sense of, like, nuance that is maybe, Oh, but it's online. That's cool. That sounds fun. Yeah, I don't play a lot of games at all. I like point and click puzzle games, and I've enjoyed Minecraft so far. I'm still having fun with Minecraft. If I change Saturday to a game day stream, it will probably mostly be Minecraft. In which case I might end up being joined by some friends for that too. Because we're trying to figure out. I'm on a little server with some friends. There's like 6 of us. And we were trying to figure out a day that we could like all play together. And so that may... Oh, it has lots of quality of life things. Oh, okay. That's nice. Are you still talking about the Magic the Gathering arena for that? But, no, we were trying to figure out a day that we could, like, all play together. And so we're kind of looking at our schedules and stuff. And one of the days I was just like, I could do it on Saturday, but it's also the day that I stream. So, you know, we could meet up and play together on Saturdays, but are you guys okay with it being streamed? And they were all like, yeah, that's cool. So, Saturdays may end up being Minecraft days with friends. Not necessarily like every Saturday. Like, I'll probably still have some Saturdays where I'm working on resin stuff, or I'm working on my own projects in Minecraft, or maybe we play a different game. But I'm having so much fun playing it. Like, I want an excuse to play it more. That's one of the things about me streaming. And it's funny because Saturdays used to be my miscellaneous craft days. I used to use Saturday as kind of an excuse to work on art projects or craft projects that I had been putting off because I didn't feel like I had time for them. And over time, they've kind of ended up also being working on resin days, just because I'm continually behind. I'm not continually behind. I'm just trying to figure out. At the moment, I'm not making enough items to support myself on, so I need to figure out how to do that. So, I don't know if I just need to make more of what I'm working on, or if I need to branch out. Probably branch out to something, but I don't know what. But, you know, Saturdays, it's just like, okay, I need to make more items, so I ended up doing this stuff on Saturdays, too. I have technically rearranged my schedule a bit, so now technically Saturday's my day off. I used to have it set up so that, I set it up so that I had days off. Oh, hi, Creststick, how you doing? What is that game, Maggie? I don't know that game. That sounds amusing though. But I used to have Sundays and Thursdays as my days off. Oh, point and click. Ooh, I will have to look it up. Cave the Tentacle. Is it like Eldritch Horror stuff? Because I like Eldritch Horror stuff. Make a note. Tentacle. You know, it's funny. I don't like scary games and stuff. I don't like being scared. Oh, nope, we can't use this one. This one actually has pigment in the bottom of it. I don't really like being like scared and stuff, but I do like atmospheric horror stuff. And like my brother and I have talked, oh, this was actually that color. My brother and I have talked like video game ideas, like things we think would be fun to make, like video games we think would be fun to make. It seems like we always come up with like horror game ideas. It's like all of our ideas are just like, ooh, this would be creepy. Even though I'm like not a huge fan of playing scary games. But I feel like I could be convinced, like I could probably be convinced to play like Phasmophobia or something. Because that's the other thing. I don't know what that is either. I don't know that. I don't know a lot of games. Because I like multiplayer games too. I like playing games with friends. I think that's part of the reason that I enjoy like board game nights and stuff too. I'm a board game person, I guess. Because I like having an excuse to like work on a project with friends. So I like multiplayer things. Seventh Guest? Is this another game? Gloomhaven update. You love Gloomhaven. What kind of game is Gloomhaven? Is it like a first person, third person adventure thing, or? Alright, let's get our pigments going here. Helen asking, yeah. Deck building board game. Oh, okay. Alright, let's see here. I don't think I need very much, because I don't think, yeah, that's probably enough. I don't think I'm going to need a ton of resin in the bottom here. Here's the thing. I don't know if I want it to be King's Quest games, not horror. Oh, yeah, that's fine. Man, I'm getting all of the recommendations. For this die, so this is the D8. I want it to have these colors, but I worry. I'm just thinking of how I want it to look once it's done. Because I want the leaves, I think, to be kind of coming out of the colored resin. I worry that... it's gonna end up with like, I'll put the color in there, and then I'll put the leaves in, and then I'll pour the clear resin in, and it will all kind of go up along the sides because it'll displace it. Especially, but maybe if I gently put the clear resin in there, I think if I gently put the clear resin in there, I can keep it from displacing as much, and we'll end up with more of kind of a layer. And I think that's what I want. The other thing is, how much resin is this going to take? Let's say it takes 10 milliliters. So, well, yeah, we're not going to need very much of these at all. Because let's say that this dye is 10 milliliters of resin, which I don't know if it's going to be even that much. We have 3 different colors here. I don't want more than, you know, half of the dye to be the color. So, you know, that's going to be 5 milliliters for all 3 of these colors. That's going to be less than 2.5 milliliters. Not going to do a lot at all. So let's just add a little bit of each of these. Don't need that much. I have a couple of games that I got at one point that I should actually pull out and play. A couple of like puzzle game type ones. Should actually pull those out and play them. Maybe we could do that on stream at some point. Because I bought them and then I just never got around to playing them. Okay, I think that's enough of that. Don't need a lot of that. I'm just setting kind of all of my pigments off to the side here, out of the way, as much as possible. So there's those two. And I think kind of like this coppery color. I think that might be good. Yeah, we'll go with this one. Stir stick. Huh? You're still listening? Oh, okay, I'm just talking. That's what I do here. I just talk a whole bunch. There we go. I think that's good there. Again, don't need a lot. Don't need a lot. Your ears are on. You know, it's always fine if you guys just want to, like, lurk. Just, you know, have something on in the background. That's what I usually do with streams. I like streaming because I like interacting. Oh, cool. I'll take a look at that after the stream. I like having something on while I work, you know, I like having something on in the background. But at the same time, like, I like streaming because I like interacting with people. It goes, like, against how I like doing, like, the way that I interact with other people streaming and the way that I enjoy, yeah, anyways, it's just, like, hypocritical or something, I'm not sure. Okay. I think for this, I don't think we're gonna do the big leaf. I think it's gonna be too big, in comparison to, like, it's gonna get kind of covered up, a lot of it, by the pigment part, so we're gonna set that off to the side for now. I do think that the little bit of green of the maple there would be nice. And I think we're gonna go for some kind of smaller little bits of leaf of some maybe various kind of colors here. More yellows and greens since we're gonna have a lot of the kind of reddish tones in the resin. Put a little bit of the this reddish tone in there. Set that off to the side. So I think that's going to be the leaves that we use. Oh, that's enough. I think that'll be enough. So we're going to do these three colors at the bottom, and then this color on top with the leaves. Placed in there after the colors in there. Oh, so sorry to hear that you injured yourself. That's no fun. But yeah, if you need to head out and go sleep, do that. Much rather you be feeling good than just hanging out for hanging out sick. Oh. I'll send you a photo of how you'll sleep when you're dead. I'll send you a photo of how the fate dice turn out if you want. The black and white ones. Because I feel like that'll be relevant to your interests. Alright, so I'm grabbing a cup here for the black mica. I'm going to do a mix of kind of two black micas that I have. Let me pull out the resin from here. Oh, yeah. Whether you want to or not. Alright, just a second here. Okay, so this is going to have some of our graphite, which I really like. So it's like a kind of a darker... Take my money. No, but yeah, I'm happy to send you a photo. Okay, so, I really like this graphite one. Let me, dibs. Because it's like it looks very like silvery here, and it is. It's very, very like fine glittery. sort of color. It's a very glittery color, which I like. I don't know, it looks more silver here, and then once you like get it into the resin, and if you do it with like a dark, like a different dark color with it, it just kind of like, I don't know, it pops a lot. So I want quite a bit of this, because this is for kind of like a mica drop swirl type thing. So I want enough of the mica that it's gonna like super saturate the resin, because that's what's gonna make it sink in the mold. So we're gonna put it on top and it's gonna sink through and give that kind of swirling effect. Because the mica is a type of rock, so it's heavier. Bye-bye! Have fun in the shadows. So it's going to try and sink if there's enough of it. So we're gonna try and kind of add a lot of the mica. I don't think we're gonna need that, like I don't know. We'll add more if we need to. We'll see. We'll see if we need to add more. So I'm gonna add some of this black as well. And quite honestly, this is just a black mica powder, and it just looks black. Like, I don't know. There's not a lot of interest going on here. It's supposed to be silver black. It doesn't have a lot of shine to it. It mostly just looks black. But that darker color, I think, will add to the graphite to make it look darker. Well, still having a little bit of that shine. So we're gonna add that in there. Hopefully that's enough pigment. We'll add our resin, and then if it doesn't seem like it's enough pigment, I'll add some more. So that's that. So we're gonna have that, and we're gonna have our white ink. See, now you wanna watch how it is. And then, that's about 20 milliliters. So our resin for this, I got one of these. I got one of this. Okay. And then our resin for this is just gonna have silver foil in it. So if this whole thing's gonna be about 20 milliliters, I found that like a set of 4 fate dice or a set of 4 D6s is in between 15 and 20 milliliters. It's a little bit more than 15, a little less than 20. So let's say that we're gonna do 15 milliliters of this resin and then maybe like 2.5 of that. I try to keep in mind how much resin I'm going to be doing, so I can kind of think of how much of the various pigments and stuff I need to put into my little containers. So I'm going to use our silver foil here, and not the cat hair. It's very staticky. It's just trying to like stick to the sides of the container. All right. And I'm trying to grab like little individual pieces, because I found that if I grab like a big clump of foil, it kind of stays as a big clump. It's harder to like break up into smaller flakes. It's not as big of a problem with the silver, but like the gold that I have, sometimes the sheets will like stick together a whole bunch. Okay, I'm trying to think of how much I need. I don't want to overdo it, but I don't want to underdo it. I think I'm going to err on the side of underdoing it, because I can always add more, but it's harder to take some out. But we'll add that much. So not a ton, but we'll add more later if we need to. So let me get that out of the way. So there's our silver foil. And then I think our last thing here, we have our little mixing cup with our blue ink that I need to try out. Our last thing here is our 8-piece set. So I want to do it kind of like half green, half purple, kind of half and half. It's not going to be like a sharp line. I want it to be kind of a softly half and half. I don't know how to put that. I have, see if I have anything here that will act as a, so I guess this will work as an example, even though it's weird colors. I want it to be like not mixed, like you can tell that there's 2 different colors here, but I don't want it to be like a sharp line like this one. This one is obviously like 2 layers. I want it to be kind of, not dropped, but I want it to be kind of a more ombre, a more, what's the word I'm looking for? Subtle, gentle, what's the word I'm looking for? Not harsh. I can't think of what the word is. It's where, like, transitional, more of a like a softer transition. That works. I want it to have kind of a softer transition from the purple to the green, but I don't want them to really mix because those colors don't really mix well. But we're gonna add some. It just looks like clear plastic on the stream, I feel like, but this is very, very iridescent. We're gonna add some bits of this into these molds. I'm gonna kind of crinkle them up. I haven't used this a whole bunch. Yeah, soft blend. That's gonna be a way to put it. So I'm gonna do that, and then this will get crinkled up, and it'll look all pretty. Ombre might work. I don't know what the word. I think maybe transitional was maybe the word I was looking for. So, and then they're gonna end up in the molds like this. Yeah, not quite an ombre, but they're gonna end up in the molds like this, with the purple and the green on the outside of them. So I want to get some bits of foil. I don't know what to call this. Plastic sheet. I want to get some bits of that for all of the dice. Obviously, I'm going to need a bigger piece than that for the D20, I think. Did my scissors just not work? Okay. And well, I don't know. Probably don't even need to. Nope, I do need to cut it. I was going to see if I could tear it, but no. I'm going to cut it. Let's see if this is big enough. I guess if it's going to kind of expand to fill its. I'll crumple it up and then it's going to kind of uncrumple itself a little bit. Let's see if this is big enough for the D20. If it is, great. I don't know. I think it could be. The problem with this stuff is that it's going to be so easy for air to get trapped inside of them. So I need to think about how I want to do this. Do I want to add one color and then dip this in the other color and add it? And risk like mixing the two colors? Or do I want to put this in first and then pour the colors over it? Probably not. I think the first way is going to be the best option of putting one color in, dipping this in the other color so that I can hopefully get some of those air bubbles out, and then shoving it into the mold. I think I could go a little bit, actually, you know, I think that is big enough. I think having it unfold a little bit is going to actually give it a little bit more shape to it, not shape, variation, I guess, in kind of shape and size of the folds, if it can expand a little bit. So it might actually end up being better if it's a little bit smaller pieces. I'm not 100% sure on that. Here, let's look in the D6. I feel like the D6 is always the easiest to like kind of look into. This will look a lot more shiny with dark colors behind it. Yeah, I think actually smaller pieces might be better. I think maybe if I did it actually smaller, we'd end up with more kind of light bouncing off of it. Yeah, you really can't see the iridescence on camera. So I think I could almost go, maybe this would be good for the D12. Where it can, you know, yeah, maybe this would be good for the D12 where it kind of expand a little bit more. Yeah, I think we're going to do that for the D12. Yeah, I think that's good. We're going to make the other ones a little bit smaller. They don't need to be as big as I'm thinking that they need to be. It's like the opposite of my iridescent flakes, where I always need to add more than I think I do. Okay. See how this is a little bit smaller. Let's see how that looks in the... Yeah, I think that'll be good in the D6. I kind of like it with the... It's not quite as jam-packed in there. I think that'll be good. I think that'll be good. So let's go with kind of a similar size for some of these other ones as well. I like a good purple. I think my favorite color is like teal though. Has been for a long time. I like a good like blue-green. A good like jewel tone blue-green. That's probably my favorite. But I like lots of colors. That's actually bigger than it needs to be, I think. I'm going to cut off part of this one, and we're going to put part of it in the D2, I think. So that'll be for the D8. I haven't quite thought of how I'm going to do the D2. I guess just kind of in the middle-ish. I don't know how I'm going to do the... I guess I could do something like kind of like that for the D2. I guess that works. We're gonna do that for the D2. I think that's close enough. And then this is for the D10. I just want to make sure that these fit reasonably well. Yeah, I think that's fine. Yeah. And then let's do one more for the other D10, and I think that's all of them. Yep, that should be all of them. This one's I think even slightly smaller than the other D10, so that should be fine. All right, cool. We've got a little bit of this. I might have to get more of this. I've used this stuff once before, I think. I used them in some purplish. Oh, I'll read that in just a moment. But I used it in some like purple with some like gold and stuff, and they turned out really pretty. Let's see. Your stupid injuries of stupid. You weren't looking where you were going. Stepped in a hole in the parking lot and sprained your left ankle. Not the first time. Then you pulled your shoulder this morning. Also not the first time. You're fine, but it's put a damper on pretty much. Yeah. I mean, just, yeah. Being in pain will do that. Put a damper on things. Yeah, no, to be fair, you've been on the couch taking all the ibuprofen in the universe. I sprained my ankle once. And I wish there was a good, cool story attached to it. I literally just like hopped up from sitting on the ground and landed on it sideways. It's just like, man, why couldn't it be some sort of like interesting injury? I literally just stood up too hard. I don't even have a good story tied to it, darn it. Now, let's clean this out. I should clean that one out, maybe. I think those two. But, well, hopefully you heal quickly, and hopefully the ibuprofen helps. But, us young whippersnappers. This sounds like a personal threat, Credstick. Should I be concerned? Am I being threatened? You young whippersnappers don't know pain yet. Why, when you get to be my age... Yeah. I'm a young Just stay off my lawn. Stay off my darn kids. Ooh, Credstick's making assumptions in the chat. Oh, hey, Robbie, how you doing? It's a little late for you. I'll be a young whippersnapper. So I'm almost 30, which is so weird to me. I've got a couple more years. I don't know. And I don't know if it would matter whether it was a single D20 or if it was a full set of dice. I don't know if that would affect shipping too much. I imagine it'd be fairly similar either way. Just because overseas shipping be like that. I'd have to look into it though. Good but tired. I mean, that's what you get for staying up late. I do plan to stream this Saturday, by the way. I know people get busy, but I do plan to stream. On Saturday. I haven't for the past couple of weeks. So I had some stuff I've been working on. I like how everybody from Scryer's usual crew is here. I think this will be fine for the purple. It's got a little bit of blue in it, but it's fine. Actually, this might be better for the green now that I think about it. Okay. But yeah, I do plan to do some dice making on Saturday for the first time in a couple weeks. I need to look at my calendar and look at what I need to make, because I have, you know, a couple of commissions that I'm in the middle of working on. It's noon Pacific Standard Time. You hang in many circles. It's noon Pacific Standard Time. I don't know what time zone you're in exactly, so I'm not sure what time that would be for you. But yeah, noon Pacific Standard Time. It's kind of nice doing a stream earlier in the day, I feel like, just because it means that other people can make it, usually. People in different time zones, because I know that, you know, this is late for a lot of people, or really early. EST. So that's not Mountain Time. Is that... Oh, you're Eastern. So how many hours different is that? Is that 3 hours different? Is that 3 hours different than Pacific? Because I'd be all the way on the other side of the country. Still trying to figure out what you qualify as? What do you mean? Whether you're a young whippersnapper or an old fart? Is that what you're trying to figure out over there, Helen? Or just which many circles you hang out in? Okay, so it is 3 hours. Okay, so that'd be 3 p.m. then for you. Okay, I almost went the wrong direction with that. I'm like, wait, no, it's 3 hours after, not before. Hence it being late at night. But yeah, just thought I'd bring it up because I know time zones. Alright, let's put our pigments into these. So this one's going to be green, and it's going to be colored with a green alcohol ink, but I'm going to add some of this multichrome flakes. Some of these multichrome flakes. I guess these, not this. Grammar. Okay. So we're going to add some of these. I really like them because they're like green to purple. See, I'll take the lid off. I really love the colors in this. Let's see if I can. I feel like it's so shiny you don't get all of the green in there, but. I think, yeah, of course I want to hear something, great and hilarious. Oh no! Well, I guess at least it's going into that one, so. This is qualified to finally renew your extended warranty on your car. So we're gonna do about 15 milliliters of each of these, because this is about 30 milliliters. But I don't think I need too much of this because it will spread out. You got auto-modded not once but 3 times in the stream today? What were you trying to say? Do I have an auto-mod set up? I think maybe I do, but I don't think I have it too strict or anything. I don't know if I even have one set up, since I have a fairly lax set of rules on my channel. Wait, now I'm just realizing that if I do have it set up and you try to tell me what you said, it might get modded, auto-modded. Oh man. Okay, I've just added a little tiny bit of the purple mica powder in there. You get bonked. Oh no. Huh. Now I'm curious. What do I have? Is that a Streamlabs thing or is that a Twitch thing? Huh. Yeah, huh. I guess maybe it has something in it that's just like, I don't know if that's a Twitch thing. To be fair, now I am really curious what Robbie was trying to say. If, except that you just... Okay, now I'm really curious. Because, see, you can say butts and you can say sexy, but whatever Robbie's trying to say is getting blocked. Okay, Automod is Twitch. Oh, yeah. Moderation. Automod. Let's see. Potentially. Just like, yeah, I have no. Oh, okay, so I have no filtering on sexual content or profanity. Huh. Let me turn it off and see what happens. Oh, you couldn't see it in the chat? Huh. I wonder if that's on your end? Okay, I just tried turning off auto mod because now I'm curious. I want to know what it's bleeping out. Because I had it at like the lowest setting of auto mod. I might turn that back on, but I am curious to know what it thinks that we shouldn't be allowed to say. Okay. Alright, so I think we've got all of our pigments figured out for the most part. Okay, that's fair. That's fair then. You shouldn't be saying it. Yeah, it sounds like that would be something on your end, Helen. Since it did show up for me and it showed up in my, on the stream where it has the chat. You would definitely not censor butts. Yeah, so it has filtering. You can see when you say it. That is strange. Yeah, I have it on the lowest setting, which it does a little bit of moderation for aggression, I guess. Huh. Did you use the word like kill or something? Is that maybe what it is? Arg, aggressively. Huh. I'm gonna turn it off for now. We may turn that back on, depending on how things go. But I mean, I can just ban people if they say stuff. Oh, it will say your message is being reviewed by mods. Oh. Hey, Jen, did it pop up for you? Alright, have a good night. Have a good night, Helen. I don't know how the moderation stuff works. I don't. Did you get something that needs to be that? I don't know how the moderator side looks. Did you get like a chat from someone? Did you get a chat from someone that you either needed to approve or not? Is that how that works? I've gotten sidetracked by Automod. Okay. I'm gonna turn it back to a little moderation. I'm being moderate with my moderation. Okay. We've got our colors here. I might end up adding some black or something to the purple just to make it darker. I don't know. It might be fine as is. Might be dark enough, but I think we've got all of our stuff here. Oh, the only thing would be in the auto mod panel. Yeah, I turned it off and then I just turned it back on because I was looking. Oh, it says it's off. I literally just turned it back on. You might need to refresh because I was messing with it. The only thing that I might need a little bit of is the white over here. Alright. So I'm going to add a little bit of white here. And if we get to it, we'll do the base layer of these dice, but if not, that's fine. I can do them later. I'll do them on Saturday or something like that. Oh good, that's on the bottom. I just saw some of the like purple and green. I was worried that I'd gotten it into the mixing cup, but it's on the bottom of the mixing cup, so I think we're good. Okay, let me think here. So a jumbo D20 takes 20 milliliters-ish of resin, and I want to do just the barest little bottom part of it. I think not quite half of it, but maybe a third or a little bit less. So that'd be about, we'll say about 5 milliliters, which I'm going to do 2 of them, so it'll be about 10. Maybe we'll say 7.5, because I really don't need all that much. Robot! It's a cute little robot. But we're going to add some white there. I'm doing a layer of snow. You guys are getting insider information on some Christmas stuff. Okay. Cool. Let me get these set off to the side. And then I think we have everything ready to go and get our resin all, okay, I'm just gonna put these lids back on because they're a pain to move. Okay. Okay, so I think we're ready to mix up our resin. So let's do that. I've got my mixing cup here. I need to grab my safety equipment, which consists of gloves. Well, that's glove, I suppose. Other glove and a respirator. So I'm going to be a little bit muffled the rest of the stream. Just giving you a heads up. I'm going to sound like this, like Darth Vader or something. So I will try to speak as clearly as I can, but it's going to be a little muffled. I just better safe than sorry. I need a stir stick as well. Let me grab the resin. We'll get that all going. It's a good thing I ordered more resin recently. I'm running a little low. So I just got a new thing of resin in, which is good. So I'm going to be going quiet here for just a second because I can't measure and talk at the same time. So feel free to chat amongst yourselves and I will be right back. Alright, there's part one. Oh! You got bought at one time for saying something about huge chicken breasts. Your friend cooked chicken Alfredo and had to freeze some chicken. The chicken was pretty big. I mean, yeah. I can see how that would be picked up by an auto mod. I mean, technically it's nothing bad, but the computer isn't smart. Computers aren't smart. Alright, let me pour the second part here. Alright, and there's the hardener. And this will take us a minute to stir. Ow, my knee. My knee. Okay, we're good. This is like a minute to stir, so we can sit here and chat for a bit. I feel like there was something I was going to tell you guys about, and I can't remember what it was. Maybe just that I was back on Saturday, but I don't remember. I don't remember. I live a very exciting life, obviously. I'm fine. I'm fine. I just bonked it on the table. Yeah. I've always been that... Yeah, R.I.P. my knee. I'm afraid we'll need to amputate, ma'am. No, it's fine. I was always that kid that had, like, scraped up knees and stuff, because I, like, rode my scooter everywhere, and, like, I don't know. I was covered in random bruises from, like, climbing trees and falling out of trees. I was a pretty active kid. I really should be more active now. Like, I should leave my house more, probably. Maybe go on some walks or something. I get very, stuck, I guess. Like, I don't know. It's hard for me to turn, like, work brain off. Especially since I'm working from home and I'm working for myself. Like, I mean, I probably should find a second source of income, but, still figuring out what I want to do there. But, I tend to, like, if I have some spare time, I tend to just obsess over work, or, like, scrolling through the internet type things to just kind of, like, turn my brain off, instead of actually doing anything productive or being active. If I don't have it written in my to-do list or my calendar, I just end up not doing it. So it's just a problem with my brain. But I really should go outside more. It'd be nice. I do like the of course now it's getting cooler out, which is kind of okay, I guess. I overheat really easy. But I don't know. It just gets hot and cold here, and I'm just like, I don't want to be out in the heat, and then I'm like, I don't want to be out in the cold. But I should be more active some way. I don't know, what are fun ways to be active? I'd love to learn how to do, like, rock climbing. I think that'd be really fun. That sounds really fun to me for some reason. Like, you watch Twitch all day? I mean, valid. I watch so much, like, YouTube and stuff while I work. Like, I have videos on all the time. Like, so much. Streams are kind of nice. I wish that, like,
my Twitch would not buffer as much as it does when I try to watch things on it. But like streams are nice because they're like long form. I don't have to try and like find a new video to watch every 15 minutes. I can just have it on in the background. I feel like that's, I don't know, I like having streams on in the background, depending on what it is. Like, some streams, I feel like bigger, you work out every morning. I mean, yeah, that's good. It is good. I want to, yeah. Maybe I should see if there's any, like, rock climbing stuff locally. The problem is, like, I'm trying to stay away from people. We still have, you know, fairly high numbers where I'm at of COVID cases, so I'm trying to, you know, not be around people. But I also know that there's not really a way for me to get into, like, rock climbing and stuff without either signing up for some sort of class or being around people. So it's just like, it's something I'd like to do, but I'm not going to end up doing it on my own. That's part of the reason that I've always liked doing, I don't know, I enjoy taking classes because I like learning new things, but also it gives me an excuse to do them. Because, like, I just don't make time for things if it's not scheduled. That's really what it is. I don't make time for things if it's not scheduled. So you know, signing up for a class just helps me, like, actually do things that I think are fun. That was part of the reason that I did the voice acting class, too, is because it sounded like fun. And I knew I wasn't going to look much into it at all unless I did something that, you know, we met, you know, once a week or whatever and had certain things we needed to get done before then. I see you watched Until Dawn, then Mass Effect, and Skyrim, and now you're here. All the games. Do you play a lot of games, Robbie? Or do you just watch, like, I like watching Let's Plays of things. I don't play a lot of games. But do you do a lot of gaming yourself? Here's a question for everyone here. What sort of games do you like playing? We were talking about games earlier, and I was saying that, like, I like puzzles, and I like multiplayer stuff. And I like Minecraft because I like artsy stuff. You can do lots of artsy stuff in there, but man, I'm sorry, I'm just thinking now, like, growing up, I always loved, like, I always liked dress-up games. Like, just the Flash animation, like, dress-up games where you have, like, a person and then they have all the clothing options. Those are the ones I always played. Yes, and that's an understatement. But I guess, like, what kind of games do people like the most? And does that line up with the games that people like watching the most? There's a question for you too. Like, you play a bit of everything. That's fair. My brother's kind of the same way. Plays lots of different kinds of things. I'm thinking about it now, and I think I like, I don't know, like, I like watching, like, Let's Plays of horror games sometimes, even though I don't like playing horror games. Or, like, I don't know, there's also games, a good story game. Yeah. That's fair. I like watching I don't know, I've always liked watching games, I guess. I guess maybe it's a nostalgia thing a little bit. I grew up with my parents playing MMOs when I was a kid. Like, I remember watching my mom and my dad play EverQuest together. Now you've completed 100% over 300 games. Oh, gosh. I don't think I could ever do that. I have too many arts and crafts to do. But no, I remember as a kid watching my parents play EverQuest together, and I have, like, fond memories of just, like, hanging out in the computer room while they were, you know, doing a raid or whatever, and we just kind of all hanging out and watching them play. Like, I don't know, so even now, like, I like watching other people play video games. We've, like, partially completed Horizon Zero Dawn, my brother and I, and it's literally just been him playing like actually playing the game and be like hanging out while he plays the game. I don't know. It's I guess like I said before, I like board games and stuff, and I like D&D because I like an excuse to hang out with people. None of your family play games? I mean, you know, not super surprising, I guess. But I guess video games. Horizon, it's a beautiful game. Beautiful game. But we keep like getting distracted by other things, and so it's been a while since we've actually played. We probably should actually work on the main storyline, but we've just been like running around doing random side quests and stuff. It's like, man, I want to know about all the other things that are going on. I don't need the main quest. Alright, this is getting pretty close. I'm gonna scrape the sides maybe once more, see how it's looking. Scrape the bottom. I just want to make sure that this is completely mixed before I start divvying it up into my various mixing cups. You never played D&D? I mean, that's fair. I also grew up playing D&D with my family. I played D&D since I was a kid. My dad used to run games for our family. And so, you know, my brother and my mom and I would all play together. Love watching it. That's fair. You know, I totally get that because there's a lot of like, depending on there's so many different ways to play D&D. There's like an infinite number of ways to play D&D, and that's also why I like Minecraft. I think there's a lot of overlap between the two. But like a lot of the ones that like, a lot of the like D&D podcasts and stuff, they have an emphasis on like storytelling. Because you don't have to play D&D as a storytelling game. You can play it as just a fighting game if you want to. As long as everyone's on the same page, there's no wrong way to play. Like, my brother's been part of groups where the whole point was just go into the dungeon and kill everything there, like, and try and collect the loot, which is also never played Minecraft. I also really like Minecraft. And again, there's an infinite number of ways to play it, which I didn't really realize until I started playing it in the last year. It's funny. It's really funny. Minecraft and D&D are like the two things that my brother has been obsessed with since he was a child. And then in like the past year or 2 years, I've gotten super into both of them. So it's just kind of funny. Alright, I think this looks completely mixed. I'm not seeing any streaks in here where the two parts aren't completely mixed together, so I'm just scrape this off and double check here. Yep, I think we're good to go. So I'm gonna start divvying this up into our various mixing cups. But what I was saying was that I think a lot of the D&D games that are streamed or that are podcasts or recorded, they place a lot of emphasis on storytelling. So of course it's fun to watch because it's, you know, it's a story being told. It's not, you know, you're there to witness the story or to witness people having fun together. That's something I like about, you know, watching people play games too. It's just, I like seeing people have fun. You don't really get into Here's a World, Do What You Want games. Oh, like sandbox ones. Yeah, we'll see that. Yeah, that's fair. And I guess that's kind of, D&D is kind of like that to a certain extent, as is Minecraft, like, where you can kind of play it however you want. Minecraft, like, I did not realize how much was in that game until I started playing, though. Critical Role is coming back tomorrow. Yeah, they're starting Campaign 3 tomorrow. I'm excited for it. I'm curious to see what they're going to play as and everything. Alright, let's see. I'm trying to kind of get my moss saturated here. And I think we could use maybe a little bit more resin here. I'm trying to get about, I think I want a little bit more resin than I have moss, because I want to be able to spread the moss out a little bit. And I want it to be fully saturated with the resin so that it actually sticks down. Alright. cool, there's our mouse. Alright, let's see here. So for our D12, what did I say? It's about 20, so 3. Okay, so about 5 of the yellow and about 5 of the blue, if I remember correctly. No, wait. One of the things that I really enjoy about Critical Role is just the, like, table interactions. Like, I love the story that they're telling and everything, but I love media where the people who are making it obviously love what they're doing. Like, they're obviously having fun and they're obviously friends. And so that's something that I really enjoy about Critical Role. There's, I don't know, there's something about, like, pieces of media where the people making it are obviously friends. That just makes it so much more enjoyable for me. I think that's one of the reasons that I've gotten into watching Hermitcraft, too. Because it's just like, everyone in that is obviously friends. Which is a Minecraft thing, but... Alright, just a second, let's get these filled up. I can't remember how much I said, so 5, 10, 15, I think that'll be about right. Okay, I think that'll be about the right amount. I don't know, it's just, I like it when people are enjoying themselves making things, more so than if they're not enjoying themselves. I'll get that to about 5. Yay, Hermitcraft! Yeah. No, I've been enjoying watching that, but it's one of those ones where it's like everyone here is obviously friends, which just makes it like even more enjoyable to watch. And I feel like Critical Role is the same way. Like that's half of the fun of watching Critical Role is just seeing them be friends. Like the things that they do out of character and stuff. It's just like, you know, friendly ribbing and all that sort of thing. All that sort of stuff. Alright. Alright, this one we're just going to do clear. This is our D4 with our flower, and I'm going to do it now. So I want this resin to be thin enough that it doesn't end up with any air bubbles trapped under the flower. That's the hope anyway. Man, I've mentioned this before. I hate talking about what I'm interested in. I don't know what it is. I'm always so nervous talking about things that I'm interested in. Where did I set? Here it is. Because I think part of it is because I tend to get fixed on like one thing at a time. And then I find out everything about that one thing. Or just far too much about that one thing. And then I move on to something else. And so it's like, if I get into something, I don't want to talk about it because it's probably going to change what I'm interested in. And then also, I'm just going to seem like a weirdo who knows way too much about it, whatever it is. So, you love catching the one-offs? Yeah, I like the one-offs too. There's a couple that I haven't seen yet. I didn't actually watch the Mighty Nine versus Vox Machina one, which I should. Because that seems fun. But I never watched it. Okay, the D8. So we just need a little bit of each of these. I don't think I need very much at all of these. I'm just doing like dollops. Just a dollop of resin in each of these. And then this one will do 5 maybe? A little more than 5? 7.5-ish? That seems reasonable. Alright, moving along. So for this one, I don't need very much at all of resin. This is the black that we're going to be mixing in. Don't be looking because you fresh. Yeah, I appreciate that, Robbie. Yeah, I've gotten... Yeah. I have so many random things I've just gotten super invested in over the years. But yeah, at the moment it's Minecraft. I'm worried that it'll change at some point. Like, I'm having a lot of fun with that game at the moment, just because, like, there's so much to do. You saw the one with grog DMing? That one's great. It's great because they're all in character playing. It's so funny. Do I need more pigment here? I don't know. I want this to be very, very pigment heavy so that it actually sinks. I'm going to add a little bit more of the black here, just because I want to make sure that we have enough. So I'm going to add another thing of the black. Okay. Bring up certain games so you want to shut up. Fair. I do love hearing about what other people are into at the moment too. Like, it's always fun. But yeah, no, I was gonna ask Maggie, have you been watching Last Life at all? 'Cause that has a bunch of the Hermitcraft peeps on it. Alright, so this one's gonna be about 20-ish milliliters. Let me see, how much resin do I have here? Okay, so we want to go down to about 30, I think. And that'll leave that. Okay, cool. I'm going to go down to about 30. Trying to just about a little bit more. A little bit, but not much. That's fair. That's fair. I think that's going to be about right. We'll see. I might actually do that one first because I want to make sure that all of this has time to sink. And then we're going to do about 15 of this and about 15 of the other. About 15 of this. Just a second. I will read that in a moment once I've gotten resin into the cup. Yeah, we might have just the right amount here. I may have done my estimations pretty close. Okay. Got maybe a little bit left in there that we can scrape out if we need to for any of these. But I think we've got everything figured out. Alright. Let me get these out of the way. Let's see, we'll talk about Dead Space, Final Fantasy X, Mass Effect, Dragon Age, Heavy Rain, and some other great games. Don't read it! I'm sorry! I just read it. Why am I not allowed to read it? People aren't allowed to know what games you like? It's too late! Alright, so we're going to mix up our resin here with some silver foil. To be fair, it's all showing up on the screen anyways. Alright, we've got our resin with our silver foil here. Lots of silver foil. We definitely have enough silver foil. It's definitely little tiny pieces, but that's fine. And I'm going to... We're going to add our resin to these. I'll read it in a minute. I was in the middle of measuring things. Hopefully I have enough resin here. I am worried that I won't have enough resin, actually. So I might still that last little bit of resin for this. We might have just enough because we have the little bit of the mica filled stuff. So we'll add the mica filled stuff, and then if we need to, I'll add a little bit more resin to this container, I think. I'll pour that in. So let's try adding this, and we'll see if we have enough. And if we don't, that's fine. Let me think here. I think I want to add... I should see the meme you made the other day. I would love to see the meme that you made the other day. Are you in my Discord at all, Robbie? you're welcome to either send a link to the meme that you made in the chat. I'm cool with the links as long as I know what's coming. Oh, thank you, Maggie. But if you want a place to post memes, that is also an option. I'm trying to get all this black resin in here. I'll make sure that I get some in all of these. I don't want to, like, not put any in just one of these. That would be bad. Oh, one of those Star Wars ones. Oh, the one with the like the fate. Oh man, how do I describe what I'm trying to say? The one that's like, you did that, right? Right? One of those ones. I do really like that. I like that meme format. I don't know why I like that meme format so much, but I do. There's just something funny about it. Alright, so I don't have enough resin here. Alright. Should have had more of the black. I'm going to try and scrape some of this into some of these. So I've got a little bit of this black resin along the sides, and I want there to be resin in all, the black to be in all of the actual mold parts. Okay. I don't know why I have Staying Alive by the Bee Gees in my head right now, and I don't know why. And I'm not super unhappy about it, but I'm just kind of confused. That's just a weird song to have stuck in my head. I guess it is something that would be easily stuck in one's head, but because it is unfairly catchy. But still. All right. Okay, let's see. I need just a little bit more resin here. I've got a little bit in here. I'm gonna add a dollop of resin in here. Try and pick up some of that last little bit of silver foil. Because I need just a little more resin. Just a little more. I'm just running slightly low. I'm hoping that this gives me enough. I just need a little bit more. I was so excited that I had just the right amounts for each thing. And then I didn't have quite enough to this one. Oh, you sent it to me? Awesome. Awesome. Via Discord? Because I will probably check it after the stream, and I'm not covered in sticky resin. But I want the memes. I like seeing the memes. Keeping it hip with the youths. All she had was glitter paint water. Mmm, tasty drink. Tasty snack. Mmm, glitter. Glitter is tasty snack. I might be going slightly insane. Alright. I'm a little sticky at the moment. Okay, I guess I need one more dollop of resin. Okay. I really do think I need oh, is there a last one? Alright, I'm trying to get some of this silver that I have on the sides off, but I'm just trying to get enough resin in here. I'm trying to dome it a little bit. I want the resin to be a little bit domed because I want there to be a little bit of extra resin because I want it so that when we put these in a pressure pot, all the air bubbles are going to get squished down really, really small. And I want a little bit of extra resin to take the place of where all the air bubbles were, because they're going to disappear. Alright, those are at least domed a little bit. I think we're probably good. I'm going to try and get every last little bit out of this cup and put it on the lid here. Just to try and get that last little bit. Alright. Okay. Alright. So, we're going to call that good. Okay, where am I putting this? I'll put this up here. Alright. So there's that done. I'm just going to... There's a hair there. I'm going to spritz that down just to pop any air bubbles that are on the surface. Oh, I have the other one here. And I'm going to let me grab my, my little tray here that I use to put things into the pressure pot. I'm going to set that on there to let it sit for a minute and let any air bubbles rise to the surface that might need to. Alright, moving along. Let's see, what do I want to do? Oh, here, this one can get moved over as well. It's just the D4 that we already poured. Let's see, what do we want to do next? I think let's do our sunrise one next, maybe. So this is going to be our D12. Our jumbo D12 that we're working on. And we're going with all sorts of sunrise colors here, so let's fold them over. And we're going to be going in order. And I want to put the yellow in first, I believe. Because I want it to be like, kind of like, if you have the highest number up, I want it to be kind of like a sunrise, so that the yellows and the lighter colors are kind of at the bottom. Which is like opposite from what I usually do. But I just feel like it kind of matches the vibe a little bit with having the sunrise kind of rise from the bottom. Usually I put darker colors at the bottom because darker colors feel heavier. Under pressure. Yeah. Just play the, yeah. Pushing down on me, pressing down on you, no man is wrong. Under pressure. Yeah. I mean, I can't blame you. You know, it's a bop. Okay, I think that's enough yellow. We've got probably about a third of the way. Oh wait, I want about a fourth. Oh well, that's fine. Alright, we're going to move on to our orange here. We're not going to add quite as much orange. I'm going to try and kind of gently put this on top of the yellow a little bit. So I do kind of want layers. I don't need like super distinct layers, but I want kind of layers. So I'm going to try and kind of scoop some of this on top of the yellow. It's not going to work if you don't play under pressure by Queen. It's like a rule. Sorry, I'm trying to concentrate here a little bit as I add this orange. So I'm going all quiet. I'm being such a professional streamer. So professional, much wow. Okay, let me not get the orange everywhere. I don't actually want the orange to be up at the top, so let's try and get some of that out. Just trying to wipe some of that off. I do want them in layers. So I'm going to add this last little bit of orange. I'm just going to put it in the middle here, and it'll get kind of pushed out, hopefully, by the other resin that'll be on top. So, this should be good. Okay, there's our orange. And that one's all done. Now we're going to move on to our pink. We're going all the way up our little... This one is kind of an ombre. We're kind of trying to subtly move from one color to another. We're going all the way from the yellow to the blue. with a transition of a bunch of other colors in between. Alright, so we've got our pink. Let's add some of that in. I'm going to try and kind of gently layer it like I did the orange. Trying to get it so that it's not just displacing everything, it's hopefully going to kind of end up as a layer a little bit. Be a little difficult to do. I'm hoping that as I add the other colors, it will help move things around to the right spots. Because as it stands, you know, everything's kind of ending up in the middle, just because that's where I have access to it. You know, the die is larger on the inside. Well, the surface area, you're too distracting, yeah. What am I, yeah, I don't know what yeah. Do find me distracting. Yeah, the surface area of the die that I'm working on is larger than the gap that I'm working on it through. And so it is making it difficult. It's difficult to maneuver that space. So I'm trying to do that, but you know, it's going. Let's use up the rest of this pink. I'm just going to put it, try to get it out there, but it's going to mostly end up in the middle here. Alright. A little bit of that left, but I'm not going to try scraping it off into there, so. Alright, now we're going to move to purple. I think maybe I made the pink a little bit more saturated than the orange, because I think it's trying to sink a bit, which is a little unfortunate. I think the purple might be similar. I'm going to spritz this down. There's a lot of air bubbles in here, making it kind of difficult to see. Alright. Usually I do this kind of the other direction. Usually I have it where the highest number's on the bottom and I add the blue first. But I did this backwards because I have my D12 mold for my jumbo dice. I should make some more jumbo dice molds that have it going the other direction, but at the moment I just have my jumbo dice molds with the highest number on top. Except for one D20 that I have. I did make another D20 with the highest number on the bottom, but yeah, should probably make another mold. We'll see how this turns out, I guess. Because this might end up getting a little bit muddled if the pink and the purple here are a little too heavy. Yeah, I think I made these a little bit too heavy, which is unfortunate. I'm trying to sink a bit. So let's add our blue and see if we can help this a little bit. I'm going to kind of pour this here because I'm trying to display. I am actually trying to display some of the stuff now, and then I'm gonna try to add it gently. All right, cool. And I think we have just enough here. Perfect. Because again, we want it to be kind of domed a little bit so that there's enough resin to fill up where the air gaps are. This was all a ploy, wasn't it? This was just a ploy to get under pressure stuck in my head instead of staying alive. I see you. I see what you're trying to do. Just accuse you of random things. Alright. But if it was your ploy, it did work. I do now have under pressure stuck in my head instead of staying alive. Let's see if I can show you what the alcohol does on top to pop the bubbles. Let me see if I can show you that. Because, okay, let's see if I can see the bubbles on top there. Oh yeah, I love me some Queen. There we go. You see the bubbles? Look at them pop. Most of them anyways. There we go. Just kind of breaks the surface tension a little bit. Helps those pop. Alright, let's see. What do we want to do next? You do every word and sound. It's impressive. I mean, I guess that's kind of like, yeah. I could probably do that for a bunch of ABBA songs. Just because I grew up with it, with ABBA. I probably know a lot of the lyrics to a lot of ABBA songs. And this is the Bubbles. Queen and David Bowie. Yeah, I also grew up on Queen. Queen and Journey. Listened to a lot of them growing up too. Mostly because I just like raided my parents' CD rack. Just like, what looks interesting, and like that's where I got all my music from. Just raiding my parents' CD rack. So I ended up with Queen and Journey and ABBA. Alright, so I'm taking my moss, my goopy moss here, or whatever you want to call it, grass, whatever you want to, Dancing Queen. Yeah. Friday night and the lights are low, looking out for a place to go. Yeah. I could definitely do Dancing Queen, but I don't want to get sued. I don't want to get copyright struck for singing it too perfectly. I'll just, no, I'm just so wary. I'm so wary of getting, like, copyright struck, man, like, but, yeah. If I don't know all of the words to Dancing Queen, I at least know most of the words to Dancing Queen. Although it has been a while since I've listened to a lot of ABBA's songs. But for reference, for what I'm doing here, I'm taking this moss, I'm trying to kind of put it along the sides a little bit, because, like here, if you see this side, here, you can kind of see all the flowers and stuff. There's not a lot of the green, so I kind of want a little bit of a green background for that. And this is going to be a little bit lumpy, which is fine. I'm going to be adding another layer of stuff even above this, or below this, however you want to look at it. This is the bottom of the tray that we're looking at right now. The top of the tray has a bunch of like flowers kind of growing along up the sides, and that's kind of what I'm trying to cover a little bit here, just because I want it to look like the flowers are coming out of the grass and not like next to the grass. So let's see what we can do to kind of give them a nice green base to them. Help tie everything together a bit. I want them to look like they're sitting on something. Same goes for this stuff over here. I missed a spot. I don't want it like too high though, because I want to be able to do that last layer. Come on. Sit down. All right. Sorry, I'm suddenly reminded of in high school. So I played trombone in high school, and a couple of other trombonists. I remember at one point we were all sitting together, and we all had kind of different tastes in music. I really liked classic rock. One of the other folks there really liked pop music, and then one of the guys there really liked metal. And we had a university pep band, I think it was, that came to visit, and they played some music for us. And I remember they did a cover of Separate Ways by Journey, and me and both the other trombonists were just like, man, I love this song. Like, we all came from like completely different, musical genres, but we're just like, yeah, this song's good. That was probably my favorite song for a long time there. I don't know, I like things that have like a good like beat to them, I guess. we're gonna take some of our kind of mossy stuff here. We're gonna start kind of spreading it towards the middle as well, because I want a little widespread of lights. And then we all did band. Yep. But I want to kind of try to add a little bit more of this going towards the middle. I want there to be, come on, there's a, sorry, I'm trying to fill in more of the area with the green here. Alright, trying to make it look kind of natural-ish, so it's not going to be perfectly even, but I do want it to actually have that color. I don't want, it was actually specified that like the person doesn't want the majority of it to be like brown, and I was planning to do kind of a brown base underneath the green, so I'm trying to make it so that the majority of it has green, even if it's kind of patchy towards the center. Got some good music without lyrics. Oh, you feel like it's electronic EDM? I like all sorts of music now. Like, I don't know. I feel like there's good stuff in pretty much in almost any genre. Like, there's just songs that I like and songs that I don't like in any genre. So at this point, I'm just like, all right, cool. Like, it's not as, but there's still like certain things. Some slow or fast. Some is chill. I was gonna say, like, I think though that the thing, like, there are certain things that I do like, no matter the genre type thing. Like, there's definitely certain, I don't know what the just random little things about music that I really enjoy. Like, I like songs that are slow and chill and stuff, but man, I love a song that has like some good like driving bass in it or something like that. Like, I don't know, there's lots of I wonder if I'm gonna want another layer of the green before I do the I might want another layer of green. I guess we'll see. I don't know if I can do another layer of green or if it'll be too tall then. But that's all of that for now. Set that off to the side. This is going to go, I have a two-tiered thing for the pressure pot. So I've got a thing that has two tiers. I'm going to put that one on the bottom tier, and I'm just going to put it in the pressure pot now before I forget. And then our lid here will go on top of that. Alright, so let's see. Let's move on. What do we need to do next? I'm going to do these next because I want to try and avoid a bunch of air bubbles. A great base with some good rhythm. Yeah, exactly. I like that kind of, I like stuff that gets me, like, pumped. It's funny, like, ever since, like, high school, I have said that I always get, like, the urge to listen to, like, hard rock at, like, midnight. Like, it's always when I'm just like, I want something that's just gonna, like, keep me awake and keep me going, I guess, maybe. That might be it. So here's our purple. Here we stand with our portals broken into two. Alright, so I think I'm gonna want a little bit more pigment in here. This isn't nearly dark enough, but let's see how the green's gonna look. And I added some multi-chrome flakes in here. Let's see if you can see it on camera. It really brightens it up there, but they're kind of darker in person. And there's a lot of green in there. Like, my camera likes to make things look bluer than they are. There's a lot of green in this this multi-chrome flake. let me mix that up. Where I put, I may have put too much green. It's kind of covered up the purple a little bit. I might have to add some of those flakes. Oh no, there's still purple in there. I might have to add some of those flakes to the purple as well. I don't know. Someone puts hard rock on to go to bed. It just helps me relax. I'm just going to put the last little bit of this shimmery purple here into this purple as well. Might as well. It's pretty much the same purple. Might as well use it up. Oh! Alright. Now, aware that this purple's not going to be dark enough, I don't know if I should add any... No, you know, adding that pigment I think actually helped, because it made it almost a little bit more opaque, maybe. I worry that it's too light, though. I worry that it's not going to be dark enough. I don't know. But I think that that little bit of shimmer that I added adds to it. You know, if it ends up being too light, so be it. That's fine. Let's go ahead and I'm going to pour some of this purple into each one. Do I want to put the purple in first? Yeah, we're going to put the purple in. It doesn't really matter. Let's see, the next day the neighbor asks, were you throwing a party? I heard rock music at 4 a.m. No, I was sleeping. Yeah, pretty much, yeah. So I'm going to pour the purple into each of these. I guess it doesn't really matter which one I do first. So we're going to pour the purple in. So I think it'll be better to dip these in the green. And I don't know why. I think maybe just because the green is a little bit more translucent almost. So I added some of the shimmer to the purple. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to try and fill these up about halfway. But it's just a kind of a rough halfway. I'm not trying to be super precise with it. These don't need to be all exactly the same or anything. And I'll go back and add probably some more to some of these. I just want to make sure I get some in each of them. Yeah, because that's obviously not half. Alright, and then for the D2, I'm going to pour it in kind of like the bottom corner here. So we'll add the green kind of on the other end. And then a little bit more to our D10s, D8, definitely our D6, and our D4. And then we'll go add some more to our D12 and our D20. But I do want to use up all of this resin because I want to make sure that I have enough. So we're going to add some more of this purple to a couple of these. And we'll add more to the D20 because the D20 takes so much resin anyways. Like, yeah, I think we've definitely gone half there. I think our D10 could use some more. And if it ends up a little bit more purple than green, that's fine. Alright. There's the barest little bit left in here, but I think we're looking pretty good. I think we've gotten about halfway. We've gotten about halfway. So let's set that off to the side. I'm going to try dipping. We're going to see how this goes. We're going to try dipping our crinkly stuff into the green and then putting it into the mold. And this may just be a giant mess, but we'll find out. Because this is going to be kind of a mess to get it into the mold, I think. Because look at that goop. Oh, thankfully songs don't get stuck in your head as much as they used to. Yeah, I feel like I'm the same. I feel like songs got stuck in my head a lot more when I was younger. I don't know why. But I feel like I'm the same. Okay, that actually was not as big of a mess as I thought it might be. So that's good. We're probably going to need to add some more green to that, but we'll let things try to work their way out. Air bubbles work their way out first. That's part of the reason I'm trying to like kind of soak this thing in the resin, is because I'm trying to make it so the air bubbles, there's not any place for like air pockets to form because it's all filled with resin. Ah! Alright, I'll put that in. Goop. It is such goop. It's all goop. We'll see how these turn out. I'm kind of excited to see how they turn out. Used it for listening to one song on repeat for hours. Oh, you used to listen to one song on repeat for hours. You know, I never really did that. I'm just thinking now if I was with a friend in their car, and I think it was back in high school actually. And they just listened to the same song on repeat, and I'm like, is there a reason we're doing this? And they're like, I like the song. I'm like, alright, that's fair. Yeah. You make a valid point. I can't argue with that. Alright. I'm just moving down the line here. Yeah, I'm wondering now how much this, yeah, I don't know. I'm curious. I'm really curious to see how these turn out. I really don't know how this set's going to turn out. It could be really cool. It could be really average. If I don't post photos of it tomorrow, you'll know that it turned out, like in the Discord, you'll know that it turned out really average. No, if it turned out really cool, I'll probably post photos though. If I can get good photos. Sometimes the stuff with like the multichrome and the iridescent flakes, just like, I don't know, they just don't show up in photos. We might get a little bit of a sneak peek with the D6 here. So we might be able to see into it a little bit easier. And I'm running out of green to dip into. I think I'm going to distill some off of the lid here. There's a whole bunch on the D10s. Alright. Dude, go get some sleep. Go get some sleep. Get some rest. I'm going to steal some of the green from here. And then I'm actually going to press this in a little bit further because my stuff is not in all the way. I mean, I can't really talk. I usually stay up until like 2 a.m. But I'll scold you in the chat anyways. Just be. Yeah, that's true. Every camera makes it look so much different than IRL. That's true too. I was watching an interesting thing. I was watching a thing as it pertains to. I was watching a thing on doing lighting in Blender, but it brought up some other interesting stuff. But it was talking about like how cameras can pick up differences in light, basically. So like, if you have something that's like backlit, if you have someone standing in front of a window, for example, and then you try to take a photo of them, either the outside is going to look really, really bright. You've been in bed for like 1.5 hours. I mean, fair. You know, it's gonna, the difference in lighting is gonna make it very difficult to see the person that's like inside, because there's that big difference in lighting on a camera. But like if you're just talking to someone, it can still be difficult to see them, but your eye does a better job of seeing both the light and the dark area at the same time. And there was an interesting thing, and it was talking about like how cameras work versus how like the human eye works, and like how like basically the better the camera, or, you know, the better that ability is of the camera to see the different, be able to see multiple light levels at the same time. And it was just kind of, I don't know, it was just really interesting to me because, you know, the human eye was better than like any camera that you could get, including like film quality cameras and stuff. But oh, where was I going with this? You're colorblind. Oh yeah, that's fair. That's fair. There's a little bit more purple on the D2. Yeah, that would affect things too. But I found that the dice that are the hardest to take photos of are the ones that have interesting like shimmer effects to them, or interesting like lighting sort of effects to them. So it just kind of made me think of that, because it's just like, you know, there's certain things that's just hard for the camera to pick up on, and I feel like that difference in lighting almost is one of them. Now I have Separate Ways by Journey stuck in my head. Alright, I think looking pretty okay. I'm going to make sure that all of these have a little bit of extra resin here. And then there's a little bit on the lid as well. I'm trying to make it so that the that sparkly part is also on the inside of the die. Some of them, oh, I've got some on the table. That's not good. Some of them it's trying to like stick out a bit. I want to make sure that it's actually in, because it'd be a pain for sanding if it ends up kind of sticking out. But I think we're gonna be okay for the most part here. Can you imagine our eyes could see more? Yeah, I know, that's such a weird thought to me. It's just like, what do, like, because we can only see within a certain range, and obviously, like, people who are colorblind can't see certain colors. So it's so weird to think that there's colors that, like, I can't see. I'm not colorblind. But I don't know. It's just like trying to get someone to imagine something that they've never experienced. Every once in a while, though, I will be like watching like a sunset or something, and it'll just be so like beautiful, and I'll be like, I feel like I'm missing something here. I feel like I need to be experiencing this with more senses than I am. Does anyone else ever have that? It's kind of, I don't know, maybe I'm just weird, but it'll be like something will just be like so beautiful or something. I'll just be like, man, I need to be able to like smell this sunset. Like, I'm missing something here. It's not a common occurrence, but I don't know. There's just it's like, I don't have enough senses. I don't have enough senses for this. There should be more. I should have more senses than this. And it's just weird to think about that with like colors. Just like, it's just the same sort of thing. Like, I should be able to see more colors than this, even though I can see all of the colors that human beings can see. All right, I think we've got enough resin. I think we've got enough there. All right, so the last one, the last die to do. The last die to do. Die. No, is going to be our D8 with our leaves in it. And I left that one for last on purpose. And that's because there's a rainbow taste. Exactly! And it's probably not Skittles. I imagine it has a very, like, fresh taste. Like rain. Alright. If we're talking like rainbows in the sky, because they're like colorful, but they're also kind of muted. Alright, cool. So we've got those. I'm going to press these down again. And I'm going to set these off on the tray as well. And we're going to do our last die here before putting the lids on. Hi, Maggie. Still hanging out? Alright. Alrighty. Alright. So the last one is going to be our D8 here. And we've got all of our kind of earthy tones. We're going to mix up. We've got kind of a reddish brown. We've got like a copper color. And we've got our shimmering brown. So mix all of those. And then I'm going to do a drop of this pearlescent mixative into our resin here. Let me actually get this mixed up because it's all sunk to the bottom. That's a little bit better. All right. Alright, and then I think I'm just going to put all of these into the same cup and do kind of like a dirty pour into the bottom of the mold. So I might as well. So I'll just put all of these in here. I hope these colors work out well together. I'm going for autumny colors here. I'm trying to do kind of like fallen leaves. This set of dice is kind of all about like nature stuff. So I'm trying to get those warm tones in here. There's our reddish brown. Let's put this in as well. It's a good thing I'm getting this done. This is definitely starting to get a little bit thicker. So, you know, we're moving into the end of the work time. You ever take the Ishimura colorblind test where you're supposed to see a shape or three in the circle of color? Yeah, I would assume so. I've done the ones where you have to like see the numbers in the circle, like it's made up of like various sized and colored dots and things. Yeah, I've done those. I can see all the colors. I've got very good color. I don't know. I have good color vision. I don't know what you'd call that, but I've a good ability to see all of the colors. So I'm going to pour this in as kind of a dirty pour, and I don't know how much of it we'll use. I want there to be a bit in there. Feel bad at those. I mean, if you're colorblind, that would make sense. Yeah. Alright, so I've got a little bit of that left, but I think that's fine. So I think we're going to add our drop of pearlescent colorant in here. Oh, there's like 25 pages, you might have seen one. To be fair, some of them don't have numbers in them, I believe, so that you don't like, because sometimes there's just not a number. To kind of try and throw you off a little bit. But still, oh boy, that's definitely something. All right, got our pearlescent mixative in here, and I'm going to dip my leaves into here. I probably should have done this earlier because it's getting rather thick, so I worry I'm going to break my leaves. I still have green on these? Just a second, I still have green on these. You wouldn't know. I mean, fair. Yeah. We have some family friends and one of their kids is the same age as me. And my brother tells the story. He didn't realize that the kid that's the same age as me didn't realize that he was colorblind until he walked in, and my brother walked in, and the other guy was sorting his Legos by color, and they were all in the wrong piles. Just like, oh, dude. He was trying to get them all in the correct piles, and they were all in the wrong piles. Okay, we're just gonna add this clear, I think. I'm gonna add the clear in the leaves because it's getting thick, and it's kind of just, the leaves are just kind of sinking in there, so there's nowhere for them to go. So we're gonna pour our resin in. Come on, don't be attached to the other leaf. That's not what we need. All right, and then we'll get all of our resin in there. And we should have enough here, I think. Hopefully we have enough here. Hopefully I put enough aside of the clear. I'm going to put the last little bit of resin that I have in here, just in case. Just a little bit of resin. Yeah, we should have plenty of resin if I do that. All right. Mix that. Yeah, it's definitely getting thicker. Definitely getting towards the end of my work time here. So I'm gonna get this all filled up, and then we're gonna close all of our molds, and I'll go get them into the pressure pot. This last little bit, and let me see what random little bits of resin do we have left over, and what do we want to do with them. So we've got a bit of the brown left. Let's maybe put them. Let's put this down. Let's put this into a D6 mold. D6 down. Another colorblind test you had to do was arrange the shades of whatever color in order on that spectrum. Like one was blues, one was whites. Ah, yeah. There was a like a phone game that was kind of like that I played for a while, where it had like, you know, one color and then another color, and then you had to like arrange all of the colors in between it to kind of make an ombre from one color to the other. Yeah, it would be so impossible if you were colorblind, I bet. Not quite enough resin. Let me. I think that this color combination might be kind of nice. I definitely need a little bit more resin here, but here, I'll show you. We've got like a brown and a red and a copper in there. It's very warm toned, but I like it. Alright, so let's see, what's the last little bit of resin do we have left? Not a lot of resin left here. I can have some clear, maybe I can scrape out of here. Or I could add some yellow. Oh, you know what? We're just going to add some yellow here. It's going to look probably really weird, but we're adding yellow at this end. I'm going to kind of swirl it in a little bit. Why not? Why not? We're just going to do that. And I'll add yellow to the lid. Cool. Got our D10 there. And I think all we have left is a little bit of pink and a little bit of yellow, and I don't know what we want to use that for. Let's just I'll grab another spare D6 and we'll just put the rest of the yellow and the rest of the pink in here. And then I think that's going to be everything. Because we'll fill this up. Looks fine to you. To be fair, that is something to take into consideration too. Like, I did that fairly recently. I made a set of dice for someone who's like partially colorblind, and it's like good to take into consideration like what's gonna make something look good to someone who's colorblind too. Like, not everything is going to, but like there's different ways to do contrast apart from just color. You know, there's different ways to do contrast apart from just color. Like, obviously I like color, but also I can see color, so I'm going to use it because I like it and I can see it. But you know, if you're trying to make dice, you need to take into account, you know, being able to read the numbers and stuff and all that sort of stuff. All right, got a little bit of orange here. Let's throw that in as well. I'm just gonna get our last little bit here. And we're not gonna put the lid on that, like, it's just gonna be open. Alright, let me just spritz everything down one more time. And let's put some lids on. Our D12 here and our D4 are looking good. So we'll put those on first. Those are some of the ones we filled up first, so we've had time for air to rise to the surface, hopefully. There's our D4, it's the one with the flower in it. I think that's going to look pretty cool, actually. Yeah, I think that might look pretty cool. With the single flower in it. Alright, and our set of fate dice here. Hopefully they have enough resin. You also wear glasses to make the contrast better and make certain colors pop more. They have a copper lens. Ooh, interesting. So copper helps do that? Helps make the colors more contrasty? Cause I haven't heard about copper doing that. But that's cool. Alright, here's the D2. I'm definitely going to have to put something on top of this to hold it down. There's a lot going on with that. But let's get all of our bubbles popped here. A little bubble on the top here, and make sure that I have all my little pieces tucked in. And get all of these on. Alright, this one needs something on top of it too. This lid doesn't hold very well. Must be an older mold. I've gotten better, like, some of my earlier molds, the like keys I made, just like not deep enough, and then, you know, they slide around a little bit, and usually I can, you know, fix that and hold them in place by kind of wedging them between two things. But some of them, you know, it's just like, that's just not great where it's at. I'm gonna put this one, get something. And we're going to put one on top of it to kind of hold it down. That's the D2. You know, the D2, I always end up kind of overfilling those a little bit. And then, like, they're so thin that it's hard to make keys that are very big. So I need something to kind of hold it down in place. There's the D20. Yeah, I've got high hopes for these. As long as there's actually enough resin in all of these, I think these could turn out cool. These could turn out cool. Alright, let's see, D12. So I mentioned it. They tried many different shades. Amber was mint, rose helped, but copper's the best. Oh, okay. That's cool. That's cool. But that's like a thing. Okay. their hair there. So I mentioned it a couple of times in the stream, but I will be streaming on Saturday at noon Pacific Standard Time, and I will most likely be doing resin stuff. That's the plan anyway. So I got stuff I need to make. So that'll be noon Pacific Standard Time. I do stream every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time too. Is this the right lid? Yes, this is the right lid. Okay. Oh. I made the keys really tall on this one. Alright. Okay, this way. Yeah, now I've started making the keys like really, really deep so that I'm like make sure that they stay. What's this 8? I want the D8 to, I didn't mean to put my finger through it. Why didn't I say it before? I don't know, it just slipped my mind or something. How could I forget? There is a cat hair here. Let's get that off of here. Get the cat hair out. Alright. Alright, let's get our last few lids on. Ah, they're polarized. Polarized lenses are so interesting to me. I remember we were messing around with them in physics. But it's so interesting to me that if you take a polarized lens, oh, they only cost like $25, nice. If you take a polarized lens that's like this, and you take a polarized lens that's like this, and you put one in front of the other, it blocks out all light. But if you then put a polarized lens in between them that's at like a 45-degree angle, suddenly some light can get through. And it's just very, like, if you ever end up with 3 polarized lenses, you should try this out. And it kind of makes sense to start, like, once you think about it, because it's polarized lenses are basically changing the direction of the light. So you're taking the light, and when you put it through a polarized lens, you're making it so that the light only travels, we'll say, this way. And then when you try to put it through another polarized lens that's opposite than that, there is no light that's traveling this way, so none of it can go through. But if you take a lens at a 45-degree angle, you're changing the direction of the light, and so the lens at a 45-degree angle will pick up all of the light that is traveling, this way through that first lens, and then it will change the light that it can into the traveling at 45 degrees, and so then once you get to the last one, suddenly there is some light that's traveling up and down, and so it will pick up on that light and change it so it's traveling at the next angle. It's just very interesting. Put this back here. Put this on. Alright, I think that is everything for tonight. Ugh, I can't get my gloves off of my sweaty hands. So I'm going to head out. I will see you guys hopefully on Saturday or next Wednesday. But thanks for hanging out. It's good seeing you guys. And I will talk to you guys later.